My descendants burn incense and worship me like a true immortal. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction, so please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story in all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter, and if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 1 Immortal Cultivation Family Simulator. I really don't have 200,000 right now. Please, brothers, give me a little more time. I promise I'll get it back as soon as possible. Your latest repayment deadline has passed. We'll give you another week. If you still can't pay, we'll apply to the court for enforcement. Okay, I'll definitely pay it back, Yang Genshuo pleaded with a bank staff who came to his house to collect a loan before finally seeing them off. He returned to his courtyard, sat on a recliner under the pomegranate tree, and looked at everything in the yard, memories flooding back. In 3 years, he opened 3 murder mystery game shops, going from making money to breaking even to incurring losses. Each step he took had a kind of linear beauty. Closing down early to cut losses, while there were still a few suckers willing to take over at low prices, Yang Genshuo sold all 3 shops, liquidated his assets, and still owed the bank 200,000. The money his parents had prepared for his wedding was all gone, and he was about to become the village's notorious unfilial son, the kind that the villagers would talk about for the rest of their lives. If only I hadn't run this shop, I could have kept 300,000, Yang Genshuo was somewhat annoyed. He lives in Gukin, the last subway station in Shimen City. He rented this small courtyard, signing a 30-year lease, and only 3 years have passed. In those 3 years, he gradually transformed this abandoned rural courtyard into a comfortable and modern one, even building himself an underground doomsday safe house and stocking it with supplies. Yang Genshuo is someone who highly values emergency preparedness. He believes he should be able to cope with extreme situations, such as nuclear war, viral outbreaks, or global cooling. He chose to rent this place not because he couldn't afford a house in the city, but because the house had a basement, and he only needed to do some renovations to build his underground shelter. And the events of the past few years certainly proved his safe house useful. While others could barely afford meat a few times a month, he could eat all sorts of canned meat every day. During that period, while others were dieting, he developed a big belly ding-dong. A WeChat notification pulled Yang Genshuo back from his reverie. Transfer of 30,000 yuan. Lin Yu, brother Shuo, I have 30,000 yuan here. You can't use it all yourself, so go pay the bank back. Xiao Yu, he remembered the girl with gentle, clear, and lively eyes, always wearing a beautiful wind chime on her wrist. Thinking of her brought to mind the ding-a-ling sound of the wind chimes. Lin Yu was a special employee in his script shop. Yang Genshuo had initially hired her for other purposes, but now. How, silly girl. How could I take your money? He didn't accept it. Sigh, I'll borrow some money from my old friends first. He went to the underground safe house, got a packet of self-heating curry chicken rice and a can of food, took them to the study, and turned on the computer. Yang Genshuo planned to print out a list of good adoptive fathers and extract some money from them. After the computer booted up, the screen flickered for a moment, then jumped to a magnificent and splendid immortal world scene, looking about 80% similar to the promotional material for some cultivation-themed web games. The next moment, several lines of text appeared in the center of the screen. Cultivation Clan Simulator, Hardcore Cultivation. Experience a completely realistic cultivation clan development from scratch. Please confirm your clan surname. Yang Genshuo was slightly taken aback. A web game ad, damn it. I was already annoyed by peeing on my hands today, and now you're giving me this trash ad. But he picked up the mouse and searched around but couldn't find an exit button. The strangest thing was that pressing the restart button on the computer case didn't work either. What kind of new virus? It can even lock my hardware? Don't be ridiculous. As a member of the Tuba forum who knew a little about computer assembly, Yang Genshuo didn't quite understand what was happening. After trying to shut down the computer without success, Yang Genshuo suddenly realized something. He decided to follow the game's flow first. Yang. After entering his surname, the animation on the screen zoomed in rapidly, and his perspective was directly in front of a graveyard covered in white snow. There was no one around, only a ragged, dejected beggar kneeling thinly in front of one of the low graves. On the grave mound stood a fairly square stone tablet, upon which was engraved only a large character, Yang. The beggar, trembling, lit 3 incense sticks with a folded piece of paper and placed them in the dilapidated bronze incense burner, beneath which sat a plate of pastries. Wisps of smoke drifted gently. This unworthy descendant, Yang Shi, has come to pay respects at our ancestral graves. I have something important to tell our ancestors. When I was 6, my entire Yang family was slaughtered. I escaped because I was feeding some beggar children, and thus became one of them, beginning a life of wandering. 12 years have passed, and I have survived to adulthood. Returning to my hometown, I investigated what happened. My ancestral home has become a residence of the Xiong family, heavily guarded. I merely climbed over the wall for a peek, and was discovered, severely beaten, and thrown into the street. Ancestors, as far as I know, the Xiong family has several innate masters, some even serving in the imperial court. Even the servants guarding the house are so fierce. The chances of revenge are slim. I will most likely die a violent death in the street. I have calmed my mind and realized that there is only one way to avenge my family's blood feud. Therefore, I have made a decision that goes against the ancestors' wishes. From this day forward, I will no longer bear the surname Yang. Bang! 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 He kowtowed 3 times, the smoke rising from the grave obscuring the offerings. Yang Genshuo, leaving aside the question of whether the game could be turned off or not, and the fact that it used a live-action filming technique, this development was far too arbitrary. My only descendant ran away right at the start. Clearly, from a godlike perspective, he was playing the role of the ancestor in the Yang family graveyard. Whoosh! A puff of smoke rose from the computer, and a plate of pastries appeared out of thin air on the computer desk. A series of lines of text popped up on the right side of the computer screen. Your descendant Yang Shi has successfully completed this year's ancestral worship ceremony. Incense value +10. You have received offerings from members of the Yang family. A plate of pastries. Would you like to bestow a reward upon the Yang family descendants? Yang Genshuo glanced at the pastries on the table, then at the computer screen. After a few seconds of stunned silence, Yang Genshuo picked up a pastry and put it in his mouth. Tui, this is awful. These game items have come into reality. The supernatural phenomenon before his eyes genuinely surprised Yang Genshuo for a moment. After realizing he might have stumbled upon some great opportunity, he couldn't help but smile. This is interesting. As Yang Shi's ritual in the game was completed, time stopped flowing, freezing on the scene of him kowtowing. Just like a turn in a strategy game. Yang Genshuo could now control the game. He first moved the mouse over Yang Shi and opened his character card. Chapter 2 Doomsday Safe House. Name, Yang Shi. Identity, sole heir of the Yang family. Beggar. Lifespan, 18/70. Realm, body tempering realm. Level 2 spiritual root, none comprehension. 20 luck. 10 talents, amused person, mortal, crying and laughing, mortal. Skills, basic fist techniques, shallow understanding, dog beating stick technique, improving, status, injured, hungry, cold. Yang Genshuo glanced at the talent descriptions and was immediately amused. Amused person, mortal, possesses a unique attitude towards life and an optimistic spirit, slightly increases comprehension. Crying and laughing, mortal, work efficiency fluctuates greatly depending on mood, happy mood +20%, depressed mood -20%. Okay, the talent is quite spirited, no wonder he ran away at the start. Although Yang Shi didn't have any outstanding attributes or spiritual roots, these 2 white mortal level talents had a bond, making the combination quite interesting. Yang Genshuo liked optimistic people. Even misguided optimism was better than correct pessimism. His comprehension is 10 points higher than the average person, which is not bad. Aside from that, there are no other highlights. Besides the character card, he can also use the incense points he just acquired. Incense points have endless uses. They are the link between you and your descendants. More uses will be unlocked as your family grows. Currently, he can only use one function, manifestation. You can send messages to your descendants through phenomena and text. 1 incense point message. I can leave him a message. This is crucial. Besides these basic functions, Yang Genshuo can only drag the camera to see the surroundings. A nameless graveyard in the wilderness, covered in white snow. Beyond the graveyard, things become unclear. His vision is limited to within 100 meters of Yang Shi, beyond which he can only make out a general outline. For example, he can vaguely see an ancient small city to the south. After the game time stopped flowing, a reward countdown appeared on the right side of the screen. 30 minutes. If no action is taken, no reward will be given. Yang Genshuo will naturally give Yang Shi a reward to verify whether this strange game can really send his items into the game. If items from the two worlds could be exchanged, that would be amazing. What should I give him? He stood up and paced around the study, constantly pondering Yang Shi's current situation. An injured beggar, weak and homeless, often hungry, the game shows that the sacrifice is only once a year, so as the only descendant who can worship me, I must first ensure he lives peacefully until next year. Only then can I build a sustainable system for worship and rewards. Under the pressure of the countdown, he couldn't think of everything at once, prioritizing the most important things. What I have now, the thing that can best achieve this goal. He looked around and saw the self-heating rice and canned food he had just taken from the underground safe house. Immediately, Yang Genshuo's eyes lit up. I've got it, outside Qingxi County, at an unnamed cemetery. After Yang Shi finished his worship, he looked uneasy and somewhat guilty. After all, severing ties with one's ancestors sounded pretty damning. Ancestor, please forgive me. I had no choice. This hatred is too great. I'm just a lowly beggar with no spiritual roots. Let alone cultivating immortality, my martial arts talent is mediocre at best. I could barely beat the guard dog. Ancestor, from now on I'll be called Yang Shi. We'll meet again someday. If I ever have a great opportunity to become a grandmaster of the innate realm, I can change my surname back to Yang. Or, you can suffer a little and take my surname. After saying this, Yang Shi felt much lighter. He knew his words were unfilial, but he knew his own constitution. If he continued to be blinded by hatred, he would lose his only advantage and achieve nothing in this life. But inexplicably, Yang Shi's heart tightened. A cold wind swept behind him, blowing up ashes. A large golden hand floated out of the grave slab. Yang Shi was slapped to the ground, golden light radiating outwards and forming two large characters in front of the grave. Rebellious grandson, Yang Shi. He glanced around. Only his footprints were visible on the white snow, and given that he had just finished a ritual, the divine power was clearly, thump. Yang Shi immediately knelt down and kowtowed repeatedly. Ancestor, spare me. Ancestor, spare me. I was possessed by a ghost. What evil spirit has taken over my body? My ancestor is an immortal, and will not tolerate your insolence. Silence fell. Yang Shi coughed twice and said, Ha ancestor, it seems the evil spirit has fled in fear of your majesty. Watching Yang Shi's clumsy acting, Yang Genshuo's lips twitched, resisting the urge to slap him again. Each slap cost 1 incense point, and he still had 9 left. He couldn't waste them, he had to use them to communicate with Yang Shi at a crucial moment. Meanwhile, after testing Yang Shi, Yang Genshuo had also prepared a reward for him. Go. My doomsday safe house, gift completed. To avoid unpredictable bugs in the game, the text information of the reward item will be erased during transport, only the item name will be retained. A loud boom. A small house encased in thick steel plates landed on the open ground next to the grave, kicking up a cloud of dust. Yang Shi stared wide-eyed at the house and the dust, his mouth forming a large O. Holy crap, who is my ancestor? Yang Shi looked at the simple grave again, now filled with reverence. Your descendant Yang Shi witnessed the divine power of his ancestor and is even more devout to you. Incense points +5. Good, I can say 5 more words. However, everything I wanted to say is already inside the house. Let him explore it himself. After confirming that he could bestow his safe house upon Yang Shi, Yang Genshuo wrote a full sheet of instructions to help Yang Shi use his safe house correctly. It contained enough supplies for one person to live on for a whole year. Look at you, you unfilial grandson, so big? Is it all for me? Yang Shi tentatively asked, pointing towards the ancestral grave, but the divine intervention didn't answer. He cautiously entered the steel safe house, whose door was already open. What came into view was an extremely neat and orderly modern space. The predominantly stainless steel material made the safe house appear cold yet highly structured. The uneven shelves and cabinets were filled with barrels and jars that Yang Shi couldn't understand. In the center of the room was a square table with a letter on it. Yang Shi opened the letter. To my beloved descendant Yang Shi, my name is Yang Genshuo. By the time you read this letter, I will be dead, but not completely dead. My soul awakens, knowing you are the only descendant of the Yang family. This house was a safe haven I once had in the mortal realm. Inside are some good things I used to use. Now I bestow it upon you. Cherish the resources within. Below is a description of this safe haven. This house stores a large amount of food, as well as some advanced tools you may never have seen before. Because the time allotted for the bestowal was limited, Yang Genshuo only wrote down some key information, instructing him to use the contents freely. After all, for a place that looked like ancient times, 21st century technology was a bit too advanced. Yang Shi understood immediately after reading it. My ancestors calling me their dear descendant means they care about me and aren't truly angry with me. Thank you, ancestor. Thank you so much, I love you, ancestor. Your descendant Yang Shi feels the care from his ancestors and is even more devout to you. Incense points +5, you're focusing on the completely wrong thing. Yang Genshuo's forward veins throbbed. P.S. New author, new book, a hodgepodge of cultivation family development. Hope it brings you some joy. Your monthly tickets, rewards, comments, and continued reading will help this book go further. Thank you. Chapter 3, Forging a Bond with Immortals Through Kindness. Food, tools, energy, medicine, clothing, and miscellaneous items. These are the 6 main categories of supplies in the safe house, each further divided into many subcategories. Yang Shi could roughly understand 5 of the main categories, but he was completely baffled by energy. He couldn't figure out what his ancestors meant by 28 square meters of high-efficiency solar photovoltaic panels and a large battery and discharge system with a storage capacity of 100 kilowatt-hours, but at least he knew that pressing the switch on the wall would turn on the overhead light. After staring at it for a long time, Yang Shi was greatly shocked. Why can't I see? I'm blind. Is this some kind of divine intervention? After a while, he was able to see clearly again. This time, he didn't look blindly and went straight to the cabinet labeled food. He took out 3 cans of food, luncheon meat, yellow peaches, and tomato beef. After opening them, he only smelled them before eagerly stuffing large mouthfuls into his mouth. Tears welled up as he ate, and he choked out, "Ancestor, you really, it's so delicious. Ancestor, you smell so good." No, it's the tin can that smells so good. Watching Yang Shi eat like a stray cat in front of the computer, Yang Genshuo couldn't help but swallow hard and ordered himself some takeout. At that moment, a prompt popped up on the screen. Speed up. A fast-forward button appeared on the screen. Yang Genshuo clicked it, and the game world instantly sped up. Yang Shi moved through the scene as if he had grown a pair of swift legs. Lines of descriptive text appeared in the quick information bar on the right side of the screen. Day 1, your descendant Yang Shi checked all the food and tasted 10 kinds of canned food, 2 kinds of compressed biscuits, brewed a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a cup of milk powder, and a cup of orange juice. Yang Genshuo glanced at his watch. Only 4 minutes had passed, and a day had already gone by in the game. On the second day, after filing his stomach, Yang Shi's wounds were festering, and the chronic ailments from years of begging were becoming more pronounced. He looked at the several drawers full of medicine, unsure where to begin. Yang Genshuo immediately slowed the game down to normal speed. Manifestation, incense value -1, remaining incense value 18. A golden hand floated out from the grave, hovering in front of Yang Shi, pointing to alcohol, antibiotics, anti-inflammatory drugs, and painkillers. Wipe the wounds with alcohol, and take antibiotics, anti-inflammatory drugs, and painkillers. Yang Shi was startled. The immortal ancestor was actually watching him closely. He knelt down and kowtowed. Thank you, ancestor, for bestowing these elixirs. Yang Genshuo chuckled. In ancient times, these were practically elixirs. Antibiotics and anti-inflammatory drugs were no joke. Once they entered your body, they would wipe out any infecting bacteria, and even the white blood cells that passed by would get slapped. Painkillers are a given. Anyone who takes them feels energetic. After the miracle, Yang Genshuo sped up the game time again. Day 3, Yang Shi's external injuries healed rapidly, and he felt very energetic. Day 10, Yang Shi's body had recovered most of its strength. The negative attribute injured disappeared. He was in a good mood and had energy for everything. He started practicing the beggar's sex common martial art, the dog beating stick technique, and his proficiency increased. Day 28, Yang Shi's injuries were fully healed, his qi and blood were abundant, and he broke through to the 3rd level of the body tempering realm, qi and blood condensation. The Yang family's descendants broke through to the 3rd level of the body tempering realm for the first time. The family's martial virtue significantly improved, and incense points increased by 30. New blessing, vitality, improves the metabolic capacity of descendants, 1 incense point a person. After watching for 2 hours, A new feature appeared in the game. The breakthrough gave a lot of incense points, and the new blessing, vitality, is kind of a buff, right? Yang Genshuo patted his sexy belly after finishing his takeout, making a bouncy sound. As a fitness enthusiast with 5 years of online fitness experience, he knew very well how much change would occur after his body's metabolism was improved. Recovery, growth, immunity, mental state, the entire body's functions would be significantly improved, just like the description of blessing, making him very energetic. It only costs 1 incense point to give Yang Shi a vitality buff for a day, so I should use the incense sparingly. I should use it sparingly and give him more of this blessing to accelerate his martial arts training. At this moment, Yang Shi in the game was happy for a while, but then suddenly fell into deep thought, seemingly pondering a very difficult matter. After sitting in the sun for a whole day, Yang Shi walked to the grave, knelt down, and respectfully kowtowed. Descendant Yang Shi has something to ask of his ancestor. A prompt popped up in the game. Respond to descendant's request. He could choose to ignore it or respond. Responding would cost 1 point of incense. What is it? 2 large golden characters floated out from in front of the grave. Yang Shi quickly said, Ancestor, I am dull-witted. I only broke through to the 3rd level of the body tempering realm at the age of 18, far behind most of my peers who practice martial arts. But in this world, martial arts are respected, and the strong prey on the weak. Without cultivating martial arts, you can't even beg for food. I bear the deep-seated hatred of my Yang family, and with your help, Ancestor, shouldn't I cultivate even more? That makes sense. Seeing the ancestor's approval, Yang Shi was very happy and pressed on, but I have encountered a big problem in my cultivation. The speed of qi and blood condensation at the 3rd level of body tempering mainly depends on external objects. Taking qi tonifying and blood strengthening medicines internally can make the cultivation faster. It is rumored that someone ate rare and precious herbs and broke through to the 4th level of body tempering overnight. Qi tonifying and blood strengthening medicines are quite expensive. I was thinking, could I use the resources in the safe house to earn some money for cultivation? Yang Shi asked nervously. Yang Genshuo thought for a moment and then agreed. Okay, but be careful, don't attract attention, and prioritize stability. Yes, I will follow the ancestors' teachings. These past few days, Yang Shi had almost finished studying the safe house's contents, and Yang Genshuo believed he would use these resources wisely. Besides, even if Yang Shi hadn't said anything, Yang Genshuo planned to send him down the mountain to earn some money. Otherwise, what if he brought back a bunch of canned goods for the ancestral worship next year? He wanted the unique products of this world. After Yang Shi finished his inquiry, time accelerated again. Day 30, Yang Shi, with a freshly trimmed haircut and wearing full war clothes, looking brand new, carried an escape pack and descended the mountain, arriving in Qingxi County. Day 31, Yang Shi entered the treasure pavilion and, after displaying the contents of his package, was invited into the VIP room. On the 34th day, a new delicacy called beggar cake was added to the treasure pavilion. It is said to be made by mortals. A palm-sized biscuit can be used as a day's ration. It tastes delicious, is easy to carry, and will not spoil for 4 years. It attracted many scholars who were about to go to the capital to take the imperial examination to watch and buy it. On the 40th day, 90% of the compressed biscuits stored in a safe house were sold, earning a large sum of money. Yang Shi was in a good mood and bought 20 baskets of meat buns to give to the beggars on the street corner. The beggars bowed deeply in gratitude. Only one little beggar, Hu Zi, who used to be close to him, recognized the drastically changed Yang Shi. Hu Zi's face showed joy, but his lips trembled for a long time, and he couldn't utter the words Brother Shi. An old beggar pressed his head down, and his attitude finally became respectful, clearly saying, "Thank you, Master Yang." On the 45th day, Yang Shi settled in Qingxi County, built a memorial tablet for his ancestors, burned incense and made offerings, and his incense value increased by 10. On the 46th day, Yang Shi bought 10 doses of qi-boosting and blood-nourishing powder at the pharmacy. After taking it, his qi and blood were boiling, and his progress was rapid. Finally, I bought medicine to replenish qi and blood. It's a good time to try my blessing, vitality. A golden energy flew out from the memorial tablet and entered Yang Shi's body, who was practicing martial arts. My absorption of the medicinal power has increased. My body seems to have inexhaustible strength. The ancestor is using immortal power to help me cultivate. Yang Shi will certainly live up to the ancestors' expectations. Yang Shi was overjoyed, triggering his talent, laughing and crying, increasing his cultivation speed by 20%. Coupled with the increased metabolism from blessing, vitality, his blood and ki surged, and he was like a furnace, rapidly refining the medicinal power, his cultivation progressing by leaps and bounds. On the 206th day, Yang Shi wielded the dog beating stick technique in the courtyard, his movements powerful and vigorous, his blood and ki surging, successfully advancing to the 4th level of the body tempering realm, refining the internal organs. The Yang family descendant has broken through to the 4th level of the body tempering realm for the first time. The family's martial virtue has significantly improved, and incense value has increased by 40. The incense given is just enough to replenish the incense used for him during this period. Yang Genshuo looked at Yang Shi's progress over the past 6 months, feeling very comfortable, as if he were simulating a new life. The more Yang Shi progressed, the more excited he became, remaining in a joyful mood state for the past 6 months, significantly increasing his martial arts training speed. This 4th level of body tempering, refining the lungs and internal organs, requires 5 different kinds of tonics, which are more expensive. I need to earn more money. Day 207, Yang Shi, carrying his bag, went to the treasure pavilion and was welcomed into the VIP room by the manager. Day 210, the treasure pavilion introduced a new pastry called canned chocolate, with a silky smooth texture and incredibly delicious taste. Rumor has it that it was made by mortals. Day 220, after receiving his reward, Yang Shi bought 2 bottles of essence strengthening and vitality returning pills and, as usual, bought cheap and filing food to give to the beggar on the street corner. Day 251, Yang Shi's dog beating stick technique greatly increased in power, and his proficiency reached masterful. Day 360, the Yang family ancestral hall manifested its power, and the ancestor designated this year's offerings. On the 364th day, Yang Shi finished purchasing the offerings requested by his ancestors and bought some food to feed the beggars. A strange little beggar ran out and grabbed his leg. "Master Yang, please take me in. I'll be your servant. I can do laundry, cook, and write. I can do anything. Please take me in." The dirty little beggar was small and clung to Yang Shi's leg, leaving black handprints on his trousers. Yang Shi frowned, displeased. Although he often gave food to beggars, he detested those who lacked manners. If everyone were like this little beggar, clinging to his leg and wanting to eat and drink for free, how many people would he have to support? Moreover, his Yang family ancestral hall had ancestral tablets, and miracles were said to occur during sacrifices. This was something that absolutely could not be known to outsiders. Even his former best friend, Huzi, he had to pretend not to know to avoid trouble. Seeing this, the old beggars, without waiting for Yang Shi to speak, worked together to pull the dirty little beggar back. "Master Yang, we're sorry, this little beggar is new to Qingxi County and doesn't know the rules. If you're angry, just kick him a couple of times, and we'll definitely teach him a lesson when we get back." The old beggars stared at the little beggar with hostility, their thoughts written all over their faces. Daring to offend the great benefactor Yang of Qingxi County, are they going to ruin everyone's future? "You're going to suffer tonight." Yang Shi nodded without saying more, preparing to go home. Suddenly, his expression changed. He turned around, and pointed at the little beggar. "You, come with me." The little beggar's face lit up with joy, and under the astonished gazes of the other beggars, he followed Yang Shi step by step. The reason for Yang Shi's change of attitude was the large golden characters in the air that only he could see. "Take her in." This was the first time he'd seen 3 exclamation marks in his ancestors' instructions. Yang Genshuo watched as the little beggar followed Yang Shi back to the Yang family mansion, clenching his fist tightly. "Good, a year has passed. I've gone through tens of thousands of character cards, and I've finally caught you, a cultivator with spiritual roots." Chapter 4. I'm very angry right now. Yang Genshuo had long discovered that the ability to view other people's character cards was an extremely useful tool, helping Yang Shi avoid misfortune and attract good fortune. As long as someone was within 100 meters of Yang Shi, he could view their character card, with basic information readily available. Lately, Yang Genshuo had been spending his free time looking at the character cards of passers-by. He wanted to see if there were any cultivators in Qingxi County. After a year, he finally found one. Name, Zheng Xiaobei. Gender, female. Identity, beggar. Lifespan, 14/100. Realm, none. Spiritual root, 5 spiritual roots. Metal, 17. Wood. 23. Water. 20. Fire. 20. Earth. 20. Comprehension. 20. Luck. 20. Talent. Wood affinity, earth rank, skills, none. Wood affinity, earth rank, wood type cultivation speed plus 10%, wood type spell power plus 10%. She's from outside. This is the first time I've seen her. Yang Genshuo might not be able to distinguish the appearances of these dirty beggars, but such a stunning character card would definitely not escape his observation. Having spiritual roots proves one can cultivate immortality. She currently has no realm and no skills, so she probably hasn't entered the world of cultivation yet, a blank slate. We've struck gold. Yang Shi has no spiritual roots and may never become a cultivator in this lifetime, which is a hidden danger for the Yang family. No matter how far he progressed, even if he mastered martial arts to the extreme and reached the level of a grandmaster of the innate realm, he still couldn't compare to the lowest level of cultivators. While other pursuits are inferior, only cultivation is superior. Yang Genshuo, standing from a godlike perspective, felt this even more acutely. Therefore, he had to guide the Yang family step by step onto the path of cultivation. Even if Yang Shi himself couldn't cultivate in this lifetime, he wanted his descendants to achieve it. After a year of observation in Qingxi County and the rumors he heard from the treasure pavilion, Yang Genshuo deduced some information. Out of the 70,000 to 80,000 people visible in Qingxi County, not a single one possesses a spiritual root. Statistically speaking, this is a large number that represents a phenomenon. It proves that the birth of a spiritual root is not random. If the conditions aren't met, a child with a spiritual root might never be born, and these conditions, according to the genetics knowledge from junior high school biology, are likely related to whether the parents possess a spiritual root. Cultivators are also human, and Yang Genshuo felt he could use some modern knowledge to explain this phenomenon. If the Yang family wants a cultivator with spiritual roots to emerge from their descendants, Yang Shi needs to marry a cultivator. Yang Genshuo looked at the little beggar on the screen. Even her mud-covered face seemed to have become handsome. 5 spiritual roots, that's probably the lowest aptitude, right? But it doesn't matter, having something is better than not having it. Besides, she has the earth-level talent, wood affinity, so her cultivation speed shouldn't be too slow. If she can embark on the path of cultivation, she can become a member of my Yang family in the future. Yang Genshuo, who was talking to himself, suddenly paused, then his expression became complicated. Ancestor, why take her in? What's so extraordinary about her? Yang Shi knelt in the ancestral hall and asked. A line of golden characters appeared in the air. Heavenly secrets cannot be revealed. Treat her well, and you will know in the future. The golden characters disappeared, leaving Yang Shi with questions, but he didn't think too much about it. His ancestor was a powerful immortal. He must have his reasons. He walked to the front yard. Zhang Xiaobei, who had just finished showering and changing clothes, emerged from the Yang family compound, tilting her head to survey the space. Her eyes were bright and lively, showing none of the shyness typical of ordinary women. Having washed away the mud and stench, Zhang Xiaobei revealed fair skin and a petite figure. Her tangled hair had been smoothed, and her jet-black locks cascaded down one shoulder, complementing her delicate oval shape. The vibrant and fresh appearance of a young woman was immediately apparent. Yang Shi, who hadn't dared to look a woman directly in the eye for 12 years, now had a slightly evasive gaze. He seemed to want to look but was too embarrassed to stare directly, forcibly maintaining the composure of a patriarch with his hands behind his back. Master Yang, my name is Zhang Xiaobei. Oh, my name is Yang Shi. Master Yang, you're so young. How old are you? Are you married? 18, I'm single. Then from today onwards, I'll live here, serving you and obeying your orders. Is that alright? Yes. What are the rules of our Yang family? Yes, you are forbidden from entering the ancestral hall in the backyard. If you step inside, I will cripple you and throw you out to feed the wild dogs. I know. Yang Shi's earnest tone, emphasizing each word, startled Zhang Xiaobei, causing her body to visibly tremble. Yang Shi, with his hands behind his back, turned away, leaving Zhang Xiaobei with an inscrutable back view, a slight smile playing on his lips. He had never lived with anyone before. Master Yang, what would you like to eat tonight? Would you like to take a bath? This servant will prepare in advance. Go and rest tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Yang Shi paused and then said, no need to call me servant, just call yourself Xiaobei. I've kept you here because we're destined to meet, so there's no need to call me master, just call me
Brother Yang, Zheng Xiaobei tentatively whispered. Alright, a year has passed, and Yang Shi is performing ancestral worship in the ancestral hall. Yang Shi's expression is respectful. He lights 3 incense sticks and reports to the ancestral tablets. Thanks to the safe house bestowed by the ancestors, this year Yang Shi has gone from an unknown beggar to Master Yang, and my strength has improved by leaps and bounds, from the 2nd level of body tempering to the 4th level. Thank you, ancestors. In the future, I will diligently practice martial arts, reach the innate grandmaster level as soon as possible, and kill the Xiong family to avenge the blood feud of my Yang family. Yang Shi's eyes are firm, completely different from the self-deprecating and amusing person he was last year. Bang bang bang. Yang Shi respectfully kowtowed 3 times. Amidst the swirling smoke, the offerings on the altar slowly disappeared. Yang Shi successfully completed the ancestral worship ceremony. Incense value +10. You have received offerings from members of the Yang family. 20 doses of ki boosting and blood nourishing powder. 10 pills of essence strengthening and vitality returning pill. Would you like to bestow a reward upon the descendants of the Yang family? 1 day in the modern world is equivalent to 1 year in the cultivation world. Yang Genshuo had been staring at the screen all day without sleep. That feels good. Looking at the 20 packets of herbs and 10 porcelain bottles that appeared beside the computer, a satisfied smile appeared on Yang Genshuo's slightly tired face. This was a special manifestation of his power, specifying the offerings for Yang Shi, to prevent him from sending over some worthless junk he considered valuable. In Qingxi County, although there are no cultivators, everyone practices martial arts, and the martial arts atmosphere is extremely strong. All kinds of tonics for martial arts training are readily available, and their quality is absolutely incomparable to ordinary medicinal herbs in the modern world. These 2 tonics are not only suitable for martial arts practitioners, but also highly beneficial to ordinary people. However, they are expensive and unaffordable for most. Their effects are simply stated in their names. I'll try one after I have given them away. He had already purchased the gifts for Yang Shi around day 300 of the game. I admit your world possesses natural materials superior to ours, but what if I were to offer you a modern food processing system? How would you cope? Go. My shopping box. 3 hours earlier, he had ordered takeout, using up his meager savings of 10,000 yuan to clear out several supermarket shelves and buy some high-quality, cost-effective modern processed foods, the best option he could quickly acquire. Duang 5 large boxes landed in the backyard, filled with brightly colored packaged foods. Yang Shi respectfully kowtowed. Thank you for the gift, ancestor. He then began reading the instruction manual written by Yang Genshuo. Meanwhile, Yang Genshuo was already eager to try the special tonics for martial arts practitioners from the cultivation world. He picked up a small herbal ball, about the size of a Liu Yidiherong pill, and smelled it. A unique herbal aroma, mixed with a hint of natural fragrance, made the medicine not only pleasant but also refreshingly clear. This is definitely good stuff. Let me try it and see how it works. I hate peeing on my hands. He swallowed a sperm strengthening and vitality returning pill in one gulp. A cool sensation surged down his esophagus and into his body. The feeling was so intense he could even feel the outline of his stomach. The medicinal power emanated from his stomach, carrying the cool medicinal energy with him as his blood circulated. The sensation slowly spread throughout his body, as if he had been cleansed from the inside out, his head clear and his eyes bright, the fatigue of the day gone. Then, his blood flowed, and the medicinal power, drawn by an unknown force, converged in his kidneys. Boom! A burst of hot air shot out from Yang Genshuo's mouth. The coolness vanished, replaced by a fiery aura rising from his lower abdomen. Yang Genshuo felt a slight change in his body, as if he had returned to his 18-year-old self, trying to outdo a steel pipe. He immediately took out his phone and dialed his girlfriend's number. Wanting, quick. Come to my house, I have a surprise for you. Stop dawdling, I'm really angry right now. I updated 2 chapters and 6,000 words today. I'm awesome from now on. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, I'll update 2 chapters at midnight before the book goes live. Thank you all for your support. There are so many people here. Did some big shot give me a chapter recommendation? A newbie thanks you. Chapter 5 Linyu. Chen Wanting is Yang Genshuo's girlfriend, 22 years old, a senior in college. They met 2.5 years ago at his murder mystery game shop. She's graduating this year, and the two had planned to get married after graduation long ago. Right now, Yang Genshuo desperately needs Chen wanting to share in the family business's profits and experience the thrill of a powerful alliance. On the other end of the phone, Chen wanting said slowly, "Brother Shuo, I have my graduation thesis defense in a few days. I'm quite busy. Let's go another day. Today, it's urgent. I have some good news for you. Come quickly. Has the mystery murder game shop been revived? Or did you sell it for a good price? Tell me the good news over the phone. I'm really busy, Brother Shuo." Yang Genshuo pondered for a moment, then said in a teasing tone, "I've sold all 3 shops, and I still owe the bank 200,000. Okay, I don't know anything about business. I can't come to your place for a while. Let's talk about it after graduation." An impatient tone came from the other end of the phone. "So, what about our wedding? Let's discuss it some more, Brother Shuo. We need to postpone the wedding. I talked to my mom on the phone the day before yesterday and told her about us. My family is quite traditional, and my mom said that the bride price here is at least 600,000 yuan. In the West, the word father was invented in 1500. Do you know what fathers were called in 1499? Huh? What? Chen Wanting was stunned. Motherfucker, beep beep beep. Hearing the voice on the other end of the phone, Chen Wanting paused, then touched her face. "I got yelled at," asked the roommate on the top bunk. "Was it the doting Shuo from your family calling again? We're not busy lately. Why don't you go out with him?" Another roommate said. 600,000 yuan dowry. Wow. Wanting, that's really high. Aren't you afraid of scaring him away? I was just playing around with him. Who knew he'd actually talk about marriage? Doesn't he know how old he is? Speechless, the roommate on the top bunk chimed in. Exactly, that's right. Those greasy middle-aged men are really something else. Another roommate, who had been silently reading by the window, closed her book, picked up her bag, and walked straight out of the dormitory. "And he, where are you going, Liu?" And he turned around, revealing a face that everyone in the dormitory envied, and calmly said, "There are flies in the room, disturbing my reading. I'm going out for some fresh air." Hanging up the phone, Yang Genshuo gave a cold laugh. "Drinking, clubbing, and staying out all night. You call yourself a modern independent woman, but the moment you mention dowry, you start listening to your mother. Huh? What the hell?" He remembered asking Chen Wanting what to do if her family disagreed with their marriage proposal, and she nestled in his arms, saying, "I can make my own decisions." Damn, she's such a good actress. This year, he was overwhelmed with managing 3 stores, trying to revive them, and had no time to think about their relationship, though the details already revealed it. Her WeChat replies became slower and slower, her temper worsened, and their sex life became less frequent. How then get lost? For someone like Chen Wanting, who had left the party in 1948, Yang Genshuo could only respond with a series of cold laughs. After the laugh, the drug's effects kicked in again. Damn it! How can this drug be so strong? He remembered that after Yang Shi took the sperm strengthening and vitality returning pill, he would practice boxing and staff fighting like crazy, as if he had endless power within his body. Now he understood where the source of that power lay. Am I supposed to learn boxing too? I don't know how. The effects of the drug were spreading, the cooling sensation had disappeared, and the heat was gradually spreading outwards from his lower abdomen, becoming even more intense. At this moment, he needed to find an outlet. Whatever, I'll just practice randomly. He opened Keep, a fitness app, found a fitness course he had saved 5 years ago, and started practicing. Burpees, squats, lunges, sprints, push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, planks. He didn't care about anything else. He did whatever was in the course, finishing one session before moving on to the next. The effects of the drug spread throughout his body with his vigorous exercise, and the heat was gradually dissipating with his sweat. It's working. Yang Genshuo practiced even more enthusiastically. Under the influence of the drug, his body recovered quickly, and he felt no fatigue at all. A 5-year online fitness enthusiast had his meridians opened by a single pill. Ding dong, a doorbell rang, waking Yang Genshuo from his immersive workout. He glanced at his watch. He had been working out like crazy for an hour and a half. Phew, I feel much better, otherwise I would have suffocated. He grabbed a towel in the yard to wipe his sweat and opened the door. Outside stood a girl in a loose white shirt and denim overalls, her sleeves rolled up to reveal her slender, pale arms. A folk-style wind chime bracelet adorned her wrist. She looked fresh and serene, like a girl next door from a manga. Lin Yu, what brings you here? Lin Yu smiled, then held out her right hand,
holding a bag of bananas. "Oh, give them to me." Yang Zhenshuo took the fruit from Lin Yu, then his expression suddenly changed, and he hunched over as he walked into the yard. Lin Yu looked at Yang Zhenshuo's strange behavior, puzzled. Sit down, sit down." Yang Zhenshuo gestured for Lin Yu to sit on a wooden chair under the pomegranate tree, whose leaves were just beginning to sprout. "Wait a minute." He then hunched over and went to the study to fetch a small blanket, covering his waist before finally letting out a sigh of relief. Lin Yu watched Yang Zhenshuo bustling about, completely bewildered. She took out her phone and started typing ding dong. "Lin Yu, brother Shuo, are you cold?" Yang Zhenshuo also picked up his phone to reply. Yang Zhenshuo, "A little." Lin Yu, "But you're all sweaty." Yang Zhenshuo, "Night sweat." "Oh no. Oh no. Don't look up. Don't look up. Damn it. Why isn't the drug wearing off yet?" Lin Yu glanced at Yang Zhenshuo, who was covered in sweat and clutching his blanket tightly, her eyes filled with confusion. She took a banana from her bag, peeled it, and handed it to Yang Zhenshuo. Ding-a-ling-ling. Lin Yu shook her left hand, and the wind chimes rang out. Yang Zhenshuo naturally took it, eating while typing on his phone. Lin Yu also looked at her phone, and the two sat under the pomegranate tree, chatting on their phones. "Why are you here?" "To see the boss." "Why are you looking at me?" "I'm not sick." "Why don't you take Lin Yu's money?" "Brother Zhi," I said, "the boss still owes money." It's not much. I can easily scrape together the money. I don't need yours. Keep it for yourself." "Oh, will the boss still be the boss?" "I want to work for you." Yang Zhenshuo's hand trembled, and he almost dropped his phone. What kind of talk is this? He glanced at Lin Yu, who was typing with her head down. Her neck was long and slender, snow-white and smooth without a single flaw. A glimpse of fair skin was revealed through the loose opening of her shirt. A faint fragrance wafted in the air, and she exuded a captivating youthful aura. Yang Zhenshuo swallowed and quickly looked back at his phone. "Let's see. I plan to rest for a while and get some exercise. I've become so fat over the years." Ha ha ha. Without a job, Lin Yu doesn't know what to do. "Since the shop closed, I've been thinking about the boss every day." "Boss, open another shop. I'll work for you. No pay." We'll talk about it later." "Don't wait for me. Go do something else first. Besides the boss, no one will work for Lin Yu." He looked up, his gaze meeting Lin Yu's clear, lake-like eyes. Lin Yu's eyes could speak. This was a consensus among all the employees of the mystery-solving game. Just by looking at you, you could know what she was going to say. At this moment, a hint of dependence appeared in Lin Yu's eyes. "Sigh, you're so beautiful. How could no one possibly work for you?" "But how could anyone actually want you to work?" He said this to himself, not to Lin Yu. Ding dong, the doorbell rang again. Chapter 6 gives you 100 free draws upon release. Take out. Seeing Yang Zhenshuo sitting in the chair, unwilling to move, Lin Yu went to the door to take it. "Boss, are you hungry?" "Yeah, I can't cook for myself." "Okay, then you eat." Lin Yu is leaving. "Okay, you go back first. If you don't want to work, take a few days off. If I start a new business someday, I'll definitely call you. I promise." "Okay, goodbye boss. Remember to eat more bananas, they cure constipation." Yang Zhenshuo felt a warmth in his heart. His constipation was an old problem. Lin Yu always kept bananas on her desk, and she would peel one for him whenever he went over. He was used to it. After Lin Yu closed the door, Yang Zhenshuo dared to lift the small blanket. Yang Zhenshuo was big. "I still need to practice," just as he was preparing to continue his intense training. Ding dong. "Lin Yu, boss, eating takeout is not good. Lin Yu will come tomorrow and cook for you." Yang Zhenshuo subconsciously typed to refuse, but thinking of Lin Yu's situation, he deleted it. "Alright, let's find her something to do, so she doesn't keep overthinking." After practicing for another half hour and calming down, Yang Zhenshuo finally started eating his takeout. After multiple blood circulations, most of the potent medicinal power was stored in his kidneys, with some being absorbed by his body. His overall energy was abundant, giving him a feeling of being able to control it at will. The kidney strengthening effect is really good. No wonder it's the most important of the 5 organs. Even Yang Shi, who practices martial arts, strengthens his kidneys first when he reaches the 4th level of body tempering. The remaining medicinal power will be absorbed slowly. The more I exercise, the faster it will be absorbed. Looks like I need to exercise every day, finally fulfilling my 5-year fitness dream. After absorbing the medicinal power, I'll try the ki boosting and blood nourishing powder. After all that,
Yang Genshuo returned to his computer. Yang Shi was in the backyard warehouse studying the 5 large boxes he had given him, with many open packages around him. He was tasting them one by one. How can such a small lump taste so sweet? These white powders can taste like milk powder, tea, and orange juice all at once. It's amazing. This time, the colorful bagged chocolate tastes even better than canned chocolate. It's incredibly smooth, and this, Yang Genshuo hadn't sped up the game before taking his medicine. He hadn't expected to spend over 2 hours on it. He hadn't slept for a day and a night, and with the medicine and intense training, he was now feeling exhausted. These supplies are the last large amount of support I can give Yang Shi. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Yang Shi, you should now use the starting resources I gave you today to develop the Yang family, and you also need to find a way to make money for me. I have to pay back my 200,000 yuan loan in 6 days. The blood-nourishing and ki-boosting powder, and the essence-strengthening and rejuvenating pill, were both good, but they were hard to sell. Gaining someone's trust was too difficult in this world. He might end up in jail again. Next time we hold the ceremony, I need to get something I can use. Manifestation, incense value -1, remaining incense value 32. In the ancestral hall in the backyard, a golden hand appeared, and Yang Shi respectfully bowed. Please give your instructions. Ancestor lines of golden characters appeared before the memorial tablet. The Yang family must cultivate its own power and accumulate family resources. Based on the resources I bestow upon you today, make reasonable use of the remaining items in the safe house. In addition to practicing martial arts, you should also study more knowledge and follow a sustainable development path. You should cultivate good relationships and avoid evil deeds. Among the beggars, Tiger can be recruited to your ranks. I observe that he has considerable talent in martial arts and is loyal. He will become a great asset to you. Take good care of Zhang Xiaobei. I will be in seclusion for a while. If you encounter any difficulties, just call upon me at the ancestral hall. The golden characters dissipated, and Yang Shi bowed to the memorial tablet. I will respectfully follow the teachings of the ancestor. Yang Genshuo sped up the game and went to sleep. Yang Shi is still reliable. He shouldn't have any problems. If he kept the game speed synchronized with the real-world speed, he would only receive offerings once a year, which would be incredibly foolish. Receiving offerings daily is in his best interest. He could receive 6 offerings in 6 days, and he could always find a way to earn money to pay back the bank. Sleep, sleep. Is the ancestor going into seclusion? Yang Shi quietly pondered every word his ancestor had said in the backyard. Developing the Yang family's power is indeed the way to go. I'm always too weak on my own. But how do I achieve the sustainable development that the ancestor mentioned? Originally, he planned to sell all these things to the treasure pavilion to get money for cultivation, but now it seemed the ancestor must have a deeper meaning. This batch of supplies isn't so simple, but unable to think of any deeper meaning for the moment, he decided to go to the safe house that the ancestor had specifically mentioned. He took out all the supplies inside and examined them. There were a few items that he had only glanced at before, because he didn't need them, so he hadn't paid much attention to them. For example, the box labeled books and entertainment. After a whole day of contemplation, Yang Shi suddenly understood. So that's what the ancestor meant. Kill, I dodge, kill again. I'd rather betray the world than let the world betray me. I love killing in my dreams. Give it to me. Discard, pass. Knowing the heavens is easy, defying the heavens is difficult. Observe tonight's celestial phenomena, and you'll know the major events of the world. Yang Genshuo woke up groggily and looked at the computer screen still lit in the study. A group of people were playing the Three Kingdoms kill board game, crowding around the table. No, I woke up too fast. I see my board game shop has come back to life. He turned over, ready to go back to sleep. 10 seconds later, Yang Genshuo slid off the bed with a somersault. On the computer screen, there was still a group of people playing Three Kingdoms Kill, but it was the speed version, with games going by in a flash. He adjusted the game time to normal and looked at Yang's board game tea house in front of him, completely bewildered. Wait, what's going on? Yang Shi, what are you doing? My board game shop just went bankrupt, and you've opened a shop in the cultivation world. Upstairs, Yang Shi was leisurely drinking milk tea with Liao Xiao, the owner of Zhenpin Pavilion. Boss Yang, your tea house business is booming, and you've met countless people. In this Qingxi County, who can be called a hero? Yang Shi doesn't know. A hero is someone with lofty ambitions, brilliant strategies, a heart that encompasses the universe, and the ambition to swallow the heavens and earth. In Qingxi County today, the only heroes are you, Mr. Shi and Xiao. Hiss. Yang Shi took a sip of his immortal's milk tea and sprayed it all over the table in a panic. Ha, interesting, a classic reappearance? The two high-fived and laughed heartily. Yang Genshuo, are you two cosplaying? Manifestation. Yang Shi, you come out here. Yang Shi saw the golden characters appear in the air and his heart skipped a beat. Boss Liao, I suddenly remembered I have an urgent matter at home. Let's talk another day. Alright, go ahead. I'd like to hear the storyteller tell another story. Yang Shi walked to the backyard of the tea house, where a shrine had been erected. Congratulations on your return from seclusion, ancestor. Don't be so happy yet. How did my Yang family end up running a board game shop? Oh. I learned it from your guidance, ancestor. My guidance? Yes. I learned several strategies for managing the family from the books you specially left for me. Books? Yang Genshuo's gaze fell down, and he saw several books on the altar in the shrine. The top book was titled 100 Free Draws Upon Login. He remembered the title. When he opened the board game shop, he planned to introduce a new collectible card game, so he bought some tutorial books online, but never opened them. Later, he casually threw a few new books into the safe house, just in case there was a power outage. You learned this from this book. No. This book is about farming. Opening a tea house is mainly based on Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Three Kingdoms Kill Basic Edition, plus your magical artifact, the tablet computer. That's how I came up with the idea. The board game plus beverage model has been a huge success. Now, our Yang's tea house is the most popular tea house in the entire Qingxi County. Our specialties are fairy floating milk tea and fairy coffee. Even wealthy people from the neighboring county line up to drink tea here. Yang Genshuo was astonished. This Yang Shi, he's got some skills. Last year he was focused on martial arts training, and this year, after being ignored for the first half of the year, he suddenly made a big splash. And you know what? He's really doing quite well. While Yang Genshuo was lost in thought, a voice came from outside. Master Yang, 3 more slackers are slacking off today, not farming properly. I've brought them here. Someone's even farming for him? He's become a landlord? Go take a look. Yang Shi thought for a moment, then took the 100 free draws upon login and went out. At the street corner, Hu Zi held a whip in his left hand and led 3 dark-skinned men by the hand with a rope. Yang Genshuo's head buzzed at the sight. Wait. Something seems off. He glanced again at the book tucked under Yang Shi's arm. Below the main title were 4 smaller words, 100 free draws upon login, Black Manor, a gust of wind blew, revealing the first page of the book. Question. What do pillows and black devils have in common? Chapter 7 The glowing field mice of the Yang family manor. The answer to this question was given on the second page of the book 100 draws upon login. 1. When it's not working properly, just hit it. 2. If you hit it hard, cotton will come out. 3. They're all cheap. Holy crap, shocked, Yang Genshuo thought about it carefully and felt it made a lot of sense. No. Using this book as a guide for family development is a bit outrageous. He had a huge rant in his mind but didn't know how to express it. Yang Shi, seeing that the ancestor hadn't given any instructions, took care of things himself. Why aren't those 3 farming properly? These 3 black devils are lazy. They ran off to catch field mice halfway through their work, and I caught them. Look, Hu Zi pulled a huge field mouse out of the burlap bag, as big as an adult dog. It was fat and big. With smooth fur at first glance, it looked like a mink, but upon closer inspection, its shifty eyes and cunning appearance clearly indicated it was a magnified version of a field mouse. How could there be such a big field mouse? Yang Shi was somewhat surprised. In his 12 years of wandering as a beggar, he had traveled to many cities and caught many field mice, but he had never seen one this big. Passers-by on the street were also quite astonished to see such a large field mouse, and unconsciously kept their distance from Hu Zi. Hu Zi scratched his head. The black men said there are several field mice this big in our field, and they went to catch them to get rid of the pests and have a good meal. In that case, it's understandable. Let me see how this situation should be punished. Seeing the book of demons, the 3 dark-skinned men shuddered violently, as if they had seen their nemesis, but after hearing understandable, they relaxed a little. They all knew that Master Yang was a well-known philanthropist in Qingxi County, and they thought he wouldn't make things difficult for them like this vicious dog. Hu Zi. Found it. When any black guy tries to justify not having a job with other excuses, regardless of whether the excuse is valid, give him double the whipping. The three black guys, healthy tiger grinned maliciously. The tiger before them was no longer the beggar who relied on charity half a year ago. He had developed rapidly and grown much stronger, especially with a leather whip tucked into his waistband, a perfect image of a wicked servant. Just as he picked up the whip to strike, a melodious female voice came from inside the tea house. Wait a minute, half a year later, the beautiful young woman Yang Xiaobei emerged. Fair-skinned and delicate, she looked like a jade maiden stepping out of a painting. The tea drinkers upstairs couldn't help but follow Yang Xiaobei's gaze towards the window. She was only 1.5 meters tall, appearing petite and cute next to the 180-centimeter tall Yang Shi, like a little potato. She pointed to the three black men crawling on the ground and said, "Master Yang is kind-hearted and can't bear to see this." The three black men immediately regained their hope and looked at Yang Xiaobei with gratitude. Drag them to a place where Master Yang can't see them before beating them. The three black men, "All right, I'll drag them to our manor to beat them, so the other black men can see that we Yang family's food isn't for nothing. You worthless wretches, you can't work without being whipped." Hu Zi dragged the three wailing black men away, effortlessly handling all three. Yang Genshuo watched the situation below, his lips twitching slightly. Although he looked yellow, his heart was red, and he never intended to do anything black. Yang Shi seemed to sense that his ancestor was observing him, and after dealing with the situation, he went to the backyard of the tea house to explain. "Ancestor, these black devils are barbarians from tribes outside Qingxi County. They are poorly educated, physically strong but lazy and unwilling to work. They often intercept passers-by to extort money, and stealing from villages is commonplace. The people around Qingxi County are greatly troubled by them. So I led people to capture them one by one and managed them according to the 100 free draws upon login method you gave me. It really worked wonders. Not only did they bring harvests to our Yang family manor, but they also reformed their thinking, preventing them from harming the village and allowing them to earn food through labor. However, just like the book says, black devils are hard to change by nature. If you speak kindly to them, they immediately reveal their true colors. So I had Hu Zi teach them a lesson, giving them a draw every day so that the manor can continue to operate. Yang Genshuo, you know, from a certain perspective, Yang Shi is actually doing good deeds. Well, overall, Yang Shi has fulfilled my requirements and is further strengthening the Yang family's foundation. Although the method was slightly different from what I expected, the result is still good." He glanced at the time. It was already 1 a.m. He had slept for a full 12 hours. Half a year had passed in Yang Shi's world. He scrolled through the historical messages on the right, reviewing the events of the past 6 months. There were mainly two major events. 1 year 2 days, Yang Shi took in Hu Zi from a beggar and made him his own. Hu Zi was extremely grateful and asked Yang Shi to give him a surname, naming him Yang Hu. 1 year 20 days, Yang Shi sold a box of Alpenliebe candy and a box of chocolates to the treasure pavilion, earning a large sum of money. 1 year 21 days, Yang Shi bought a restaurant and 100 acres of fertile land. 1 year 60 days, Yang Shi and Yang Hu recruited wandering knights to capture the black ghost who was terrorizing the village and drove him to the Yang family manor. Using the seed reserves in the safe house, they cultivated 100 acres of fertile land. The black ghost seemed to be very good at planting cotton. Learning without instruction, Yang Hu becomes the manager of the Yang family manor. After 1 year and 95 days, Yang's board game tea house opens, attracting storytellers to recite Romance of the Three Kingdoms, drawing large audiences. The signature fairy floating milk tea becomes synonymous with the socialites of Qingxi, with limited daily supply and high demand. The Three Kingdoms kill board game becomes a favorite among scholars. Yang Xiaobei, eloquent and literate, becomes the manager of the tea house, and sales soar. After 1 year and 182 days, you use the manifestation, using the seeds from my safe house? That's interesting. As a true Chinese, his safe house absolutely needs agricultural reserves, including grain seeds, vegetable seeds, and cash crop seeds, to facilitate his rebirth in the apocalypse. Farming and developing, Yang Shi is taking the right path. In such a technologically backward world, hoarding land is crucial. It's the foundation of a family. Yang Genshuo also wants to see if the earth seeds he brought can blossom and bear fruit in this world. A line of large golden characters appeared in the air. Go and see the manor, following the ancestral guidance. On the way, Yang Genshuo pondered a strange question. Why did Yang Shi do nothing but practice martial arts last year, like a hermit in seclusion, but this year, after I mentioned developing the family, he suddenly had an epiphany, displaying a whole host of impressive skills. He pondered this all the way, and when he saw Yang Shi's talent, entertainer, he suddenly understood. Oh, because my attention suppressed his performance. On the contrary, after I went into seclusion, he was able to unleash his true self. Interesting, the Yang family manor was located north of Shi County, at the foot of the small hill where the Yang family's ancestral graves were situated. The 100-acre manor was still quite impressive, about the size of 10 football fields. Under the summer sun, everything was growing, and dark-skinned people moved about, creating an indescribable harmony. Most of the vegetables were ripe and ready for harvest and sale. Some vegetables were varieties not native to the area, highly sought after by wealthy gentlemen and ladies, fetching 10 times the price of ordinary vegetables, yet still in high demand. Yang Genshuo nodded in satisfaction. Brother Shi. Look! I caught 3 more big field mice. I'll roast them for you later. Tiger dragged a long rope with 3 enormous field mice tied to it. The one in the middle was particularly huge, almost as big as a pig. Huh? Yang Genshuo, who was admiring the manor, saw a strange sight. The pig rat in the middle was emitting a faint glow. But Yang Shi and Tiger couldn't see it. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8 Spirit Fields and Spirit Rice. Yang Genshuo moved the mouse over the glowing pig rat, and a character card-like introduction popped up. Giant field rat spirit beast lifespan. 5/10 realm, first level of fetal breathing talent, gluttony, mortal level, gluttony, mortal level, possesses strong digestive abilities, food intake plus 50%, it's actually a spirit beast. This was the first time Yang Genshuo had ever seen a spirit beast. He and Yang Shi knew very little about spirit beasts, only that immortals rode them when they went out. He did know about the first level of fetal breathing. Liao Xiao, the manager of the treasure pavilion, had traveled extensively in his youth and was quite knowledgeable, and had told Yang Shi about the mysterious immortal cultivators. The fetal breathing stage was the beginning of an immortal cultivator's journey, similar to the body tempering stage in martial arts, except that their cultivation was much easier. They only needed to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, and their realm would rise steadily, unlike martial arts cultivators who had to desperately strain their bodies. Moreover, once they reached the highest level, they would break through to the key refining stage and become a high and mighty immortal. Even a grandmaster level martial artist is only fit to carry the shoes of a key refining immortal. That's an existence ordinary people wouldn't even dare to dream of. When Liao Xiao mentioned this, his face showed reverence. He said that when he was at the headquarters of the treasure pavilion, he had closely admired the immortal figures of several key refining immortals, and the memory was profound. Yang Genshuo looked at the spirit beast again. Although it was quite large, it had been beaten to the point of death by Hu Zi and was tightly bound by thick ropes, unable to move. Its face clearly said, I'm about to die. Hu Zi is only at the 3rd level of the body tempering realm, yet he could easily capture this thing. It seems to be one of the weaker spirit beasts. Should we keep it? Don't cultivation novels often depict spirit beasts being kept to guard the house? But Yang Genshuo glanced at the 100-acre estate, and his lips twitched slightly. He put the pig in the feed trough. Such a large beast, plus its gluttony talent, who knows how much damage it will do to the crops. Forget it, they're so weak, there's no use keeping them. Let Yang Shi eat them to replenish his strength, at least they're spirit beast meat. He himself didn't like eating rats. He was about to use spirit manifestation on Yang Shi, but looking at these large field rats, he suddenly remembered something. Blackie didn't work but chased after the large field rats. I saw several in the manor. Nobody in Shi County has ever seen such large field rats. How could they suddenly appear? Something's not right. He pressed spirit manifestation. The field rat in the middle is a low-level spirit beast. Oh? The kind of spirit beast manager Liao mentioned. Yang Shi was also surprised. That's right. Ask Tiger and Blackie where they caught the field rats and find their burrows. The golden text disappeared. Tiger, where did you catch these field mice? Down the mountain to the north. That land is uneven, lots of grass and trees. We haven't cleared it yet. Good, take more men.
Grab your weapons, let's find the field mice's burrows. Hey, we are going to catch them all. Can we even eat them all? Be careful. These field mice aren't ordinary, understood? Crack. Tiger lashed the ground with his whip, scaring all the black men in the surrounding houses out. Black men, grab your hoes and pitchforks, follow me to catch the big field mice. Anyone slow will get 10 lashes. A guaranteed lash to the face. In a flash, the black men sprang into action. Clearly, Tiger had learned a lot of advanced management techniques from Yang Shi. More than 50 people searched down the mountain and, sure enough, found another large field mouse. Don't catch it, follow it. A group of people surrounded the field mouse, which hurriedly headed towards its burrow. In front of everyone, it darted into the grass and disappeared. Lift up all the grass and trees here. More than 50 people quickly ripped away the grass, revealing a dark cave with several field mice squeaking inside. Tiger, along with several burly, dark-skinned men, went in and caught the field mice, tying them up with ropes. Only then did Yang Shi peer into the cave. The entrance wasn't large, but the inside was surprisingly spacious. Yang Shi could move forward even while hunching over. The cave was filled with many unusually large fungi, just like the field mice. Could there be something special about this place? Yang Shi muttered to himself, touching the ground. This is like Bulbasaur entering Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and eating Doritos. It's amazing. I knew there was something special about it. On Yang Genshuo's screen, the exposed cave emitted a faint glow, and the plants inside also emitted subtle light. Spiritual field, a naturally occurring field imbued with spiritual energy, suitable for planting. Spiritual energy concentration. 1. Things with spiritual energy are marked with a glow in the game. This spiritual field is the reason those field mice grew abnormally large. They ate the mushrooms here, and that large field mouse with a gluttony talent became a spirit beast because it ate too much and absorbed too much spiritual energy. However, it lacks intelligence and combat power. Next, Yang Genshuo used a spiritual manifestation to tell Yang Shi that this was a spiritual field, instructing him to pick the remaining mushrooms and take them back to stew with a pig rat. Yang Shi arranged for Hu Zi and the others to do this, while he himself climbed the mountain to the Yang family ancestral graves and spoke of something Yang Genshuo didn't know. Ancestor, a few days ago, I was having tea with Manager Liao of the Treasure Pavilion, and he mentioned this spiritual field to me. Oh? Yang Genshuo was originally pondering how to use this spiritual field, but he didn't expect Yang Shi to have such knowledge. That's true. While I was sleeping, Yang Shi spent half a year on his own, absorbing knowledge that I didn't participate in. On the screen, Yang Shi continued, he said that in Yulong County there is a long-established family specializing in spiritual plants, the Jie family, who are skilled in the art of spiritual plants. By sowing different spiritual seeds in their spiritual fields, they can produce spiritual rice, spiritual fruits, and spiritual materials. Immortals eat the spiritual rice and fruits and use the spiritual materials to forge magical treasures. Ordinary people who eat spiritual rice can strengthen their bodies and prolong their lives, but this art of spiritual plants is said to be only learned by cultivators. Ancestor, how should we manage this spiritual field? Yang Shi was somewhat worried, feeling like he had a treasure trove but couldn't use it. Yang Genshuo, however, had a different opinion. Spiritual plant cultivation? Isn't that just farming? It's just using some methods to make the crops yield more. The mushrooms that grow naturally in this spiritual field all have spiritual power. If we plant more suitable spiritual seeds and take good care of them, they should be able to produce some spiritual items. Right, planting is better than not planting. Let's try it first. Anyway, in his time, a day is a year. If nothing grows by this time next year, he can just pull them up and let them grow mushrooms again. This spiritual field is about an acre. If they grow anything, it will be enough for Yang Shi and him to eat. Manifestation, find a way to get spiritual rice with a short ripening time and plant it in the spiritual field. Also, this matter must be kept secret. Absolutely no leaks. This spiritual field is planted with food supplies for cultivators. If it is discovered, it may cause trouble. Yang Shi also understands the key point. Yes, after giving instructions, Yang Genshuo pressed the fast-forward button, and time in the game flowed quickly. Chapter 9, Blessing, Spiritual Rain. After 1 year and 184 days, Yang Shi invited the manager of Xianpin Pavilion to a tea house for tea. After 3 cups of immortals floating milk tea, they began discussing spirit rice. Manager Liao, what was that food you mentioned to immortals called again?
Immortals naturally eat spirit food, mainly spirit rice and spirit fruits. Oh, I wonder what spirit rice looks like? Have you ever seen it? Of course. Spirit rice is quite common at our Zhenpin Pavilion headquarters. It's the grains harvested from cultivated spirit rice. It's often bought by immortals or officials. The grains are as translucent as crystal. In the sunlight, you can see a faint halo flowing inside. After cooking, it fills the whole room with fragrance. Yang Shi's face lit up with delight. It sounds enchanting, Manager Liao. Do you have this spirit rice? I'd like to try some of this celestial delicacy. Haha, spirit rice is fragrant, but it's far inferior to Mr. Yang's alpenliebe candy and chocolate. Why spend so much money on that? Life is all about food and drink. If you haven't heard of it, fine, but if you hear about it and can't even eat a few bowls, it'll make you itchy and restless, like ants crawling on your skin, keeping you up all night. Seeing Yang Shi's expression, Manager Liao chuckled, Mr. Yang, we've cooperated many times. I won't hide it from you, I recently received a batch of spirit rice and am preparing to sell it. Oh? Where did this spirit rice come from? May I buy some? Mr. Liao stroked his beard. Rare items don't ask where they come from, and payment is made promptly. That's the rule of my rare goods pavilion. Please don't make things difficult for me, Mr. Yang. Then may I ask if Manager Liao can sell me this batch of spirit rice? I'm willing to buy it at a high price. Liao Xiao looked at Yang Shi with a half smile. I'd be willing to sell, but the price. I'm afraid Mr. Yang can't afford it. Yang Shi sat on the third floor, pointing down. The second floor was for tea tasting, and the first floor was for board games. All the seats were full. My Yang's board game tea house isn't good enough for Manager Liao. Not at all, not at all. It's just that spiritual items are different from ordinary items. Their value is calculated in spirit stones. My 20 jin of spiritual rice is priced at 1 low-grade spirit stone. Can Mr. Yang afford it? Spirit stones, this was currency used only by cultivators. Yang Shi, a newly wealthy man, naturally didn't have any. The thought that his entire fortune wasn't even worth 1 low-grade spirit stone made Yang Shi feel somewhat dejected. The difference between immortals and mortals was greater than that between a person and a dog. Isn't there any other way? If it were someone else, it definitely wouldn't work, but for Boss Yang, Liao Xiao narrowed his eyes and said, could you still get those fasting biscuits? Yang Shi raised an eyebrow. During the sacrificial ceremony, one of the 5 boxes of supplies his ancestor gave him was compressed biscuits, containing 500 packs. Because these things have a long shelf life, he wasn't in a hurry to sell them. If you could, what would you say? Liao Xiao held up 3 fingers, 300 packs, and I can exchange them for 20 jin of spirit rice, 150. Hey, Boss Yang is joking. Liao, am not a commoner. We've cooperated many times, as you should know. Zhenping Pavilion's prices are always straightforward. 300 packs is the most suitable price I can offer. Deal. After the two completed the transaction, that night, a carriage from Zhenping Pavilion ran off, heading straight towards Yulong County. 1 year and 187 days later, Yang Shi planted half of the spirit rice seeds in the cultivated spirit land, and preserved the remaining 10 jin of unhulled spirit rice. Ding, the Yang family has planted a spirit field for the first time. Incense points plus 50, unlock new blessing. Spirit rain, condenses spiritual energy into rain in a designated area, lasting for 3 hours. 5 incense points acre time. Yang Genshuo had just accelerated time a little when the new content was unlocked. This thing is obviously for planting spirit fields. It's just in time, otherwise, Yang Shi would have to treat the spirit rice like ordinary crops. Let's give it a try. Use blessing. Spirit rain, incense points minus 5. Wisps of spiritual energy in the world were drawn in, flowing into the cave where the spirit land was located, and a large amount of white mist also gathered inside, forming white clouds. Splash clear spirit rain fell, and the newly planted spirit rice grew rapidly under the nourishment of the spirit rain. Seeing this, Yang Shi naturally knew that the ancestor had come, and quickly bowed in the direction of the ancestral grave. Our ancestor casts a spell, next year will surely bring a bountiful harvest. The spiritual rain poured down continuously in the cave, only slowly dissipating after 3 hours. By this time, the spirit rice seeds had sprouted. The spirit field's attributes changed. Spiritual energy concentration. 2. Yang Genshuo nodded in satisfaction. This blessing is a great help for farming. Its priority is higher than vitality.
If this batch of spirit rice matures and is harvested, then Yang Shi and I can eat spirit rice, but looking at the 5 incense points consumed, he was somewhat worried. It's just that it's consumed too much. I only have 125 incense points now, enough for a maximum of 25 spiritual rain showers. These incense points were accumulated by Yang Shi during the past 6 months while developing the family. The family's foundation has gained 100 acres of fertile land, incense value plus 20. The family's wealth has exceeded 10,000 taels of silver, incense value plus 20. The family's servants have reached 50, incense value plus 10. Breaking through martial arts realms and planting spirit fields for the first time still give more incense value. It seems that achievements that improve the family's strength can earn more incense value. Yang Genshuo found that the incense value was completely insufficient. Otherwise, if he gave Yang Shi a vitality buff every day, his body tempering speed would be incredibly fast. Now that there was spirit rice, he could only prioritize supplying the growth of spirit rice. Seeing that there was nothing else to do, he continued to speed up the time. 1 year 208 days, Yang Shi comprehended a whip technique from the relationship between whipping force and labor efficiency in 100 draws upon login, named Lightning 100 Whip. The whip is as fast as a shadow, and the direction is unpredictable. It can strike the enemy's vital points from all angles, making it extremely sharp. 1 year 215 days, Huzi learned Lightning 100 Whip, and the production efficiency of Yang family manor increased. After 1 year and 300 days, Yang Shi broke through to the 5th level of the body tempering realm, bone hardening. For the first time, a descendant of the Yang family has broken through to the 5th level of the body tempering realm. The family's martial virtue has significantly improved, and the incense value has increased by 50. Yang Shi stretched a bit, and his bones creaked as if they were about to grow anew. Body tempering has 10 levels, 5 of which are body refinement, and 5 of ki nourishment. I have reached the final stage of body refinement, bone refinement. Once I reach mastery, I will need to nourish my ki, but the ki nourishment method is only available in sects. Let's see if Boss Liao can get his hands on the ki nourishment method. Otherwise, I'll have to go to Yulong County to become an apprentice. Yang Shi briefly looked ahead before continuing his bone refinement training. Very good. Yang Shi is very clever. He has the intelligent Zhang Xiaobei manage the tea house, and Hu Zi manage the manor. He exercises every day, and his martial arts cultivation is steadily improving. Yang Genshuo looked at Yang Shi's efforts in the latter half of the year and was quite impressed. Compared to mundane matters like making money, he focused more on martial arts training, a fire burning within him that never went out. He even created his own Lightning 100 Whip because he lacked proper martial arts skills. For 1 year and 321 days, Tiger cultivated with a ki boosting and blood nourishing powder, and with a blessing of his small talent, medium success, he successfully advanced to the 4th level of the body tempering realm. Tiger closely followed Yang Shi's lead, something Yang Genshuo already knew. Of the hundreds of beggars in Qingxi County, he only allowed Yang Shi to take in Tiger because he possessed 2 mortal level talents, small talent, medium success, mortal. After age 18, the physique begins to develop again, comprehension increases, and martial arts training efficiency increases. A promise kept, mortal, values promises, when fulfilling a promise made to others, efficiency plus 10%. Tiger was a year younger than Yang Shi, and had just turned 18 after following him. His originally ordinary body began to develop again, and with the tonics given by Yang Shi, his physique gradually became stronger, and his martial arts training progressed by leaps and bounds. The second talent also reflects Tiger's excellent character, making him a valuable asset for the Yang family's future combat power. Time in the scene continues to accelerate, and Yang Genshuo, aside from sending down spiritual rain every 15 days, has nothing else to do but lie on the sofa pondering what this year's rewards can give Yang Shi. Meanwhile, unseen in the scene, the world continues to turn. Jade Dragon County, Spiritual Forest. This is the territory of the Jie family, a family specializing in spiritual plants. Spiritual rain occasionally falls from the sky, celestial mists whirls, spiritual beasts cry softly, and spiritual creatures grow, a scene of celestial beauty. Family members and servants constantly move about, managing a large number of spiritual plants. As a top spiritual plant family in Jade Dragon County, the Jie family's spiritual forest produces a large amount of celestial food resources every year. Today, all the high-ranking members of the Jie family, unusually, have gathered in the council hall, a room full of cultivators. Their gazes are all focused on the square pastry held between the patriarch's two fingers. This is called the beggar cake, an opportunity for our Jia family's advancement. Chapter 10. Rules are a constraint on the weak. Outsiders in Yulong County see my Jia family as an old, prestigious family of spirit plant growers, enjoying boundless glory and the protection of immortal sects. In the mortal world, we are a first-rate power, but in the cultivation world, we are merely the lowest-ranking immortal race. Of all the arts of cultivation, spirit plants are but a minor path. If our Jia family wants to advance further, we must become a spirit cuisine family. Spirit cuisine. Upon hearing the patriarch mention these two words, the other family members were all surprised. Their Jia family was a century-old family of spirit plants, possessing some foundation, but still far from being a spirit cuisine family. An elder with a white beard asked, "The most important aspect of spirit cuisine is its unique recipes, which are considered closely guarded secrets by all the major spirit cuisine families. My Jia family has researched for many years, but the food we cook is merely ordinary spirit food. When did we develop unique recipes?" Patriarch Zhang smiled slightly, gesturing for everyone to look at the fasting cake in his hand. "This is my Jia family's opportunity." Everyone looked at each other, puzzled. This looks like nothing more than a common snack. Although it smells sweet, it's far from being a spirit food. How can it be considered a stroke of luck? I can easily kill a couple of spirit beasts, roast them over a fire, and they'll be better than this. Could it be that this thing has special effects? Hearing someone in the clan mention the key point, Zhang stopped hiding it. That's right. This snack looks ordinary, but it contains a secret. Does anyone know about the beggar pill? Everyone here is a cultivator who has entered the world of cultivation, so they have naturally heard of the famous beggar pill. A beggar pill is no bigger than a peanut. After eating it, one can eat a whole meal and not feel hungry for 3 days. The beggar pill is the lowest grade pill. Successfully refining it makes one a first-grade alchemist. Only foundation establishment cultivators have the ability to refine it. The price of the beggar pill is very stable. One beggar pill can be exchanged for 2 low-grade spirit stones. As long as it's sold, it can be bought by major immortal sects or independent cultivator markets. After listening to the answers from the clan members, Zhang nodded, then shook his head. "What you're saying is all true, but you only know one side of the story. Not all fasting pills are the lowest grade, first-rank pills. There are also second-rank, third-rank, and even ninth-rank fasting pills. It's said that a single high-rank fasting pill can make a person not need to eat for a year, and fasting pills have no other effect besides filling the stomach. So why are they so expensive? And why do they never have to worry about selling? Can't cultivators just eat the spiritual rice and fruits we grow? They're cheap, delicious, and satisfying." Seeing the puzzled looks on the faces of the clansmen, Zhang gave the answer. Because the beggar pill is an essential item for cultivators in seclusion. High-level cultivators in seclusion cannot be disturbed by external things. If they eat 3 meals a day, how can they concentrate on comprehending the world? Therefore, cultivators use beggar pills to assist in their seclusion so as not to interrupt their comprehension. It can be said that as long as cultivators still need to go into seclusion, the beggar pill will never be outdated in the cultivation world. However, the beggar pill is expensive, and low-level cultivators simply cannot afford it. So what? This thing? He raised the compressed biscuit in his hand again. With just a slight modification to the recipe, it becomes a special spiritual dish, which can also be called a low-grade beggar pill. The crowd immediately erupted in an uproar. Mortal pastries can be so magical, but these little cakes have no spiritual energy. How can they be called spiritual food? Hearing the clansmen's doubts, Zhang revealed the confident smile of a family head. "I tasted a few pieces, and I can taste a rich wheat flavor in them, so the ingredients must contain wheat flour. What if we replace their wheat flour with our spiritual wheat flour, everyone? Oh, this is a major plan for the clan. We need to find the force that makes this as soon as possible and buy their recipe and technique. I'll do it. This old man will go personally. Uncle, I'm willing to go." Seeing the younger generation of the clan eagerly sign up, Zhang was greatly gratified. His Jia family had been a prosperous family for hundreds of years, and the reason for its prosperity was this cohesive family tradition, where the clansmen worked together as one. "You are all cultivators. It's not suitable for you to move around among mortals too much. It will attract the attention of the imperial court. If you are seen attacking mortals, it will ruin the reputation of my Jia family and damage the foundation of our family. Moreover, this matter will take an unknown amount of time.
So don't neglect your spiritual fields. I have a half-step Xiantian disciple named Zhao Kuangfeng, who created the Kuangfang blade technique and has made a great name for himself in the martial world. His ultimate skill, the 8th level Great Kuangfeng, is something even Xiantian grandmasters would be wary of. Sending him is enough, everyone agreed. Disciple Zhao Kuangfang came to the council hall and, after hearing the master's instructions, agreed. I bought this bigu cake from the treasure pavilion in Yulong County. When you go there, they will naturally tell you who sold it. Zhao Kuangfang frowned. I have been wandering the martial world for many years and often buy supplies from the treasure pavilion. Their rule is treasures are not questioned for their origin, and payment is made promptly. I'm afraid. Zhe Xiangying smiled disdainfully. He rules bind the weak. If my Jie family wants it, how dare their treasure pavilion utter a word of refusal? Zhao Kuangfang asked again, what if this force is unwilling to sell the formula? Then use your method to make them spit it out. Don't worry about anything, my Jie family will back you up. Yes, Kuangfang is off, Yang Genshuo stretched. Time in the game flowed quickly. Apart from running the board game tea house and the manor, the Yang family hadn't done anything else. It was almost time for the annual ancestral worship ceremony. Yang Genshuo pondered for an hour but couldn't think of any good resources he had that could help Yang Shi. After all, he had spent all his money and couldn't provide Yang Shi with any supplies. How about giving him some books to read? He had quite a few books he had bought on a whim in his bookshelf, most of which he hadn't read. A man who could comprehend whip techniques from 100 free draws upon login might actually learn something from the books. Just as he was choosing books, a notification appeared in the game. Your descendant Yang Shi is asking you for instructions. Should you respond? What is it, ancestor? I have purchased the 5 tonics you requested, and the small gold bars have been melted down according to your requirements. Do you need me to prepare any other offerings? No need. Yang Shi hesitated, seemingly embarrassed to speak. Speak your mind, his incense points are running high. If he speaks too slowly, he'll lose 1. Ancestor, our Yang's board game tea house has been packed lately. 1 set of, standard edition of 3 Kingdoms Kill, cards is simply not enough. The cards I made myself are ugly and lack that transparent film, making them extremely easy to damage. Could you bestow some cards upon me this year, huh? This was the first time Yang Shi had asked him for a favor. Before, he had simply accepted whatever he was given without daring to say a word. I hadn't expected that. Perfect timing. I still have many sets of different versions of the 3 Kingdoms Kill card game, all shrink sealed. I can give them to him. Yang Genshuo replied with a single word. Good. Now, the issue of the reward was settled. Soon it was time for the ancestral worship ceremony, and as Yang Shi knelt in worship, the offerings on the incense table disappeared with the smoke. Your descendant Yang Shi has successfully completed this year's ancestral worship ceremony. Incense value +10. You have received offerings from members of the Yang family. 10 carefully crafted calming pills, 10 liver soothing and vision improving pills, 10 body strengthening and stomach strengthening pills, 10 lung moistening and key regulating pills, 10 essence strengthening and vitality restoring pills, 10 gold bracelets, 50 G, and 2 caddies of spirit rice. Do you wish to bestow a reward upon the descendants of the Yang family? Here. These cards are all for you. Make my board game shop bigger and stronger in the cultivation world. 10 boxes of 3 Kingdoms Kill, 1 box of Werewolf, and a book he personally selected, the 36 Stratagems. After distributing the gifts, Yang Shi looked at his profits. The 5 tonics each corresponded to strengthening the 5 internal organs, greatly benefiting the body. The gold bracelet was made from separate pieces of a 1-pound gold bar, making it easy for him to sell. Selling to a few more gold shops should be enough to sell it all, and the money should be enough to pay off my loans, but I can't do this often, otherwise the relevant departments will notice, and I'll be charged with unexplained wealth. He only planned to sell it this once. Finally, his gaze fell on the 2 pounds of unprocessed spiritual rice, his eyes filled with excitement. This was a spiritual food for cultivators. Yang Genshuo had planned from the beginning to get this out and show it to the Taoist priest. Taoist priest was the nickname of Yang Genshuo's college roommate, a top student who had pursued further studies after graduation and was now a postdoctoral fellow at Ximen Agricultural University, specializing in seed science. Chapter 11 Young Master Zhao Xianxi, with kidney deficiency. The Taoist's real name is Chengbo. He got this nickname because he was always at the Taoist temple. For 4 years of university, he was almost always at the temple, and he was very proud of it. He believed it was a form of entertainment that allowed him to quickly release himself without interfering with his studies. He famously said, "It's not that I can't afford a girlfriend, it's just that the Taoist temple is more cost-effective." He was known as the innate Taoist saint body. Indeed, as he himself said, compared to Yang Genshuo and his group of university parasites who felt like ants crawling all over their bodies if they didn't talk about girls every day, Chengbo was extremely focused on his studies. While Yang Genshuo was struggling with his civil service exams, working, quitting, and starting his own business, Chengbo went from a master's degree to a doctorate, specializing in his beloved seed science. Now a postdoctoral fellow at Ximen Agricultural University, he has published several papers on modern seed science and may become the youngest professor at Ximen Agricultural University in the next year or two. Yang Genshuo and Chengbo have a very good personal relationship. Because, Taoist master, are you busy this afternoon? Come out for a shower. A surprised yet wise voice came from the other end of the phone. Really, Godfather? Of course, I'll arrange whatever you like. Compared to my dull research environment here, I need a positive, optimistic, and open-minded confidant to help me get through this. Okay, I understand. Alright. After hanging up, Yang Genshuo went to the yard, opened Keep, a fitness app, and started exercising. It wasn't that he was particularly disciplined, but he had a burning desire in his lower abdomen that he couldn't let out. This drug is really strong. If I could get a pharmacy license, I could become a millionaire selling this stuff. Men are always willing to pay for sex. But this is just a thought. If he actually did it, the new drug approval process alone would kill him. What if they found out it contained plant ingredients that didn't belong to this world? At that point, forget about opening a pharmacy, he'd be arrested as a Trisolaran spy. But if he could find an old man with kidney deficiency and sell him one of these pills, he'd get hard, and a course of treatment would cure his kidney deficiency. An old man, having earned his fortune half his life, who wouldn't want to enjoy himself? Ding dong, the doorbell rang. A WhatsApp message popped up on his phone. Lin Yu, boss, lunch is ready. Opening the door, Lin Yu walked in carrying a lunchbox. As always, she was dressed in a fresh, youthful style. Without makeup, her natural girlish charm was enough to lift anyone's spirits. But when Yang Genshuo saw Lin Yu wearing tight jeans today, he had a bad feeling. She bent over, fiddling with a lunchbox, her 2 mounds of flesh filling the jeans, creating a striking contrast with her slender waist. Most damningly, with each movement, her curves trembled naturally, making it even more breathtaking. Lin Yu usually dressed conservatively, never revealing anything, but these tight jeans were irresistible. They were more alluring than nothing. Yang Genshuo's eyes were glued to her, as if they were on cue. The effects of the drug he'd just taken hit him again, this time even more intense, rushing straight to his nose. After finishing her lunchbox, Lin Yu looked at Yang Genshuo, who was tilting his head back and using tissues to stop the bleeding, with a puzzled expression. She took out her phone. Boss, why are you bleeding from your nose? I've been exercising too much these past few days. It's nothing. Oh, then I'll cover your food first. You can eat when the bleeding stops. She stood up, her back to Yang Genshuo, and started packing the lunchbox again. Her rounded curves were so close, she could easily reach out and touch them. No, Yang Genshuo quickly stopped Lin Yu from using her wound-deepening combo, finished his food quickly, and then saw her off. He trained like crazy for another half hour before his body returned to normal. Yang Genshuo touched his taut stomach, feeling that it wasn't as bouncy as before. Did I really end up with 8-pack abs? He didn't have much willpower for fitness, but the drug was pushing him forward relentlessly. Lin Yu's visit released a lot of the drug's stored power in his kidneys, and he felt that he had already refined half of the drug's power. After taking a shower, he grabbed a bottle of essence strengthening and vitality returning pills in a white porcelain bottle and headed out. Let my big son enjoy himself first. When Chengbo first learned he was opening his first murder mystery game shop, he gave him all his money except for his school cafeteria card. Yang Genshuo would never forget that. Later, after he made some money, he would often ask Chengbo to massage his feet. He couldn't let his brother really take care of him for life, could he? Before leaving, Yang Genshuo adjusted the game's time flow to match the real-world flow, just in case something unexpected happened while he was out. In the afternoon, Yang Genshuo met Dao Yi in the city center. Godfather, where are we going? White Swan, wow, that's not cheap. Godfather,
You've struck it rich. It's okay. I don't need to spend any money. Holy crap. Godfather is so influential. White Swan is top tier in the entire Shiman city. Going there is a top-notch experience, with no downsides except for the price. No, complaining about the price is my downside. Otherwise, Chengbo would be excited. He really likes this place. VIPs, please come in. As soon as they entered, two young women in slit cheongsams came over and led them inside, their arms around each other. The sense of prestige was palpable from the moment they stepped inside. These two greeters, both 1.7 meters tall, with excellent figures and demeanors, wore genuine smiles and didn't seem to mind some intimate contact, chatting and laughing as they led them into the bathing area. Behind them, a black Bentley Bentayga pulled up, and a young man in a red t-shirt and sunglasses stepped out. Young Master Zhao, you've arrived. Come in, come in. Still on the third floor today, Zhao Shianxi's lips curled into a wicked smile. He was about to agree when his hand reached into his pocket, not finding his usual small pills, and his expression changed slightly. No, on the second floor today. Then he calmly walked into the bathing area. Nearby, two men who looked older than him were washing themselves, leering, smirking. Master Dao, I guarantee this will make you incredibly powerful after taking it. I've tried it, and it's truly addictive. With my talent, what do I need to take? Lol, traditional Chinese medicine ingredients, no side effects, treats kidney deficiency, sugar-free, effective in 3 minutes. Lasts for 7 days, and then permanently improves kidney function. If you don't mind, I'd like to become your godfather. Zhao Shianxi almost burst out laughing while listening to their conversation. Traditional Chinese medicine? Effective in 3 minutes? Permanently improves kidney function? Are these two acting in a web series? Zhao Shianxi was quite knowledgeable about drugs. Such a drug definitely didn't exist in the world. Otherwise, with his abilities, someone would surely have forced it into his mouth. After showering, they went their separate ways. But today, Zhao Shianxi, who had no desire, was walking upstairs when he suddenly turned and headed towards Yang Genshuo and Chengbo's room. He peered into the doorway, watching Yang Genshuo take out a small porcelain bottle, extract a large pill, and give it to the other person. 2 minutes later, his pants bulged. Bang! Chengbo came out and hurried up to the third floor. Zhao Shianxi frowned, looking at the small porcelain bottle on the table through the small window, seemingly thinking of something. It is said that in the old days, there was a miraculous medicine, the 10-ingredient tonic pill. It was said to be extremely nourishing, and even a dying person could be kept alive for another week after taking one pill. Could it be? 2 hours later, Chengbo came down from the third floor looking radiant, his face full of confidence, almost as if he wanted to broadcast it over the loudspeaker throughout the club. Zhao Shianxi hadn't even had his foot massage yet, he was just scratching his head in frustration. He tossed 100 yuan to the waiter next to him. Go to the third floor and find the technician who just served him. Okay, the waiter ran quickly, and a moment later, he half-dragged a technician down from the third floor. What are you doing? Ouch, I'm really exhausted, let's find someone else, my legs are shaking. Zhao Shianxi happened to know this technician and asked directly, Xiao Miao, was that guy good? Ah, it's young Master Zhao. Well, he's definitely nowhere near as good as you, tell the truth. 3 red cards were thrown at him, and Xiao Miao immediately confessed. Terrifyingly good, today was really tough. After going downstairs, Zhao Shianxi's heart was pounding, he was about to meet a benefactor. Yang Genshuo had important business with Chengbo, and after finishing, he urged him to leave quickly. Taoist, let's settle the bill. Oh no, brother Shuo, didn't you say you didn't have to pay? I didn't pay, did I? Just tell me if my medicine works or not, damn it. I fell for your trick. Just as the two were arguing, the waiter said with a smile, young Master Zhao has already settled your bill. Young Master Zhao? Who? Beep beep. The Bentley parked at the door honked. The two walked over, looking bewildered. The electric car door slowly opened. Zhao Shianxi smiled and said, brothers, where are you going? Shall I give you a ride? Do we know each other? Zhao Shianxi's eyes darted around, remembering what Chengbo had said at the bathhouse. Although we don't know each other now, if you don't mind, I'd like to become your godfather. What's going on? He came out and suddenly became a father? Godfather, please come in and tell me more. He still had to give Bentley face, and the meal they had just arranged was quite sincere. Where are you two going? Agricultural University. Ah.
You also study at Agricultural University. How novel. You should call him Teacher Chang. On the way, after Zhao Xianxi hesitantly described a friend's current inability to get up, Yang Genshuo understood. You want to buy my sperm strengthening and vitality returning pill for your friend? This stuff is very expensive. Money is no problem. Zhao Xianxi patted the steering wheel, looking confident. He hadn't encountered an old man with kidney deficiency, but he had encountered a young man with kidney deficiency. Yang Genshuo felt that the world was a bit too coincidental. Since that's the case, it's a fool not to make money when there's an opportunity. Let's take advantage of this guy with kidney deficiency. They arrived at the Agricultural University. My medicine is at home. If you need it urgently today, wait for us. If not, I'll give you an address. You can come find me tomorrow. My dorm is over here. I'll wait for you. Call me when you're out. Zhao Xianxi drove his Bentley directly to the dorm building. The security guards didn't dare give him a second glance. Students on the street looked at the Bentley with envy. Some of the more direct girls even approached Zhao Xianxi, who was leaning against the Bentley, to ask for his wretched ID. Damn. If you don't have kidney deficiency, who'll? Yang Genshuo cursed, opening the car website and adding the Bentley Bentayga to his wish list. But that's for the future. He was confident he wouldn't lack Bentleys to drive in the future. Today, he had serious business with Chengbo. Click. The lights on the ceiling of Chengbo's lab lit up one by one, the bright, white light cold and rational, just like the atmosphere of the lab. Brother Shuo, change into your lab coat. Entering the lab, Chengbo, like the Taoist priest who had massaged his feet that afternoon, stood tall and imposing, exuding a powerful aura, meticulous and conscientious, commanding respect. After everyone was changed, Yang Genshuo took out 10 golden yellow spirit rice stalks. They were complete, with roots, stems, leaves, ears, and grains. At first glance, they looked similar to common rice. Huh? A new variety of rice? Which lab cultivated this? Do you have its genetic map? Chengbo recognized it immediately, not as an existing rice variety. You're quite accurate. But this isn't lab-grown, it's a naturally growing rice. I want you to help me see how it differs from traditional rice, and whether we can cultivate it in a lab or greenhouse. If spirit rice could be cultivated on Earth, that would be interesting. He could realize many strange and wonderful ideas. Although the energy level of the cultivation world was much higher than Earth's, Yang Genshuo still believed that modern science could do things that cultivators couldn't. Using science to empower the Yang family would allow them to stand more firmly in the cruel cultivation world. Researching spirit rice was his first step. Chengbo peeled a grain of rice and placed it under a high-powered microscope. His expression changed drastically after just one glance. Radiation. This rice contains radioactive elements. Huh? Brother Shuo, you need to get a full-body checkup immediately. Don't panic, don't panic. It can't be that serious. We're wearing lab coats, right? This stuff is radiation-proof. Take another look. If it's radiation, then it's reasonable that it spawned a new, deformed variety. Chengbo frowned. Yang Genshuo was completely bewildered by Chengbo's mention of radiation. What happened to the supposedly miraculous rice? It's supposed to prolong life and protect against all diseases for ordinary people, so how is it related to radiation? Chengbo analyzed the rice grains and various instruments. Several hours later, he held a stack of test reports in his hand. His furrowed brows relaxed. This radiation doesn't seem to pose a threat to the human body. In fact, it might even trigger a special reaction that I've never seen mentioned in any paper, but judging from the results and tests, it seems beneficial. Like infrared radiation, moderate exposure can accelerate wound healing and relieve muscle fatigue. Although it's incredible, perhaps we've discovered a new type of radioactive material beneficial to the human body. After thinking for a while with the report in hand, Chengbo grabbed Yang Genshuo, his expression excited. Brother Shuo, we're going to win the Nobel Prize. Yang Genshuo also breathed a sigh of relief. I knew it. It's something immortals eat, how could it be harmful? At this moment, Yang Genshuo gradually understood. The radiation Chengbo mentioned should be the spiritual energy stored in this spiritual rice. He pressed down on the excited Chengbo. Master Dao, I know you're anxious, but don't rush. This is something only the two of us can know. I'll tell you the reason later. Now I want to know, can this thing be cultivated in your lab? Chengbo seemed not to understand, waving his arms excitedly. Brother Shuo, the Nobel Prize. We're going to win glory for our country. Can we cultivate it? Seeing Yang Zhenshuo's calm demeanor, Changbo's initial enthusiasm slowly subsided. Their years of tacit understanding made him seem to understand something. Theoretically, yes, okay, this is something only you and I know. Understand, understood, very good, you truly are my good son, get lost. The two closed the lab door. Changbo went back to his dorm to rest, while Yang Zhenshuo called Zhao Xianxi, arranging to go home together to get the medicine. Walking on the asphalt road of the campus, feeling the beautiful atmosphere of university, Yang Zhenshuo felt as if he had returned to his own university days, his mood incredibly pleasant. Directly in front of him, a group of university students strolled leisurely, chatting and laughing, both men and women, seemingly having just finished club activities. Wanting, I heard you broke up with that greasy guy Zhongdeng? Is it true? Oh dear, I already told you, he's not my boyfriend. We just met playing murder mystery games before. He added me on WeChat and kept bothering me, and I felt bad about always refusing. We've only had a few meals together. One of the boys, Fei Yang, immediately got excited. Ah, really? Then, I've always liked you, since the first day of school. Can you give me a chance? I'll definitely treat you well, then you'll have to wait your turn. Yesterday, Zhao Xianxi from the Zhao group just added Wanting on WeChat. He's really aggressive. I wonder if you can beat him, her best friend Zio said from the side, making Fei Yang's face turn awkward. Chen Wanting smiled ladylike. Actually, what kind of status my other half has isn't important to me. The main thing is that they're willing to put in the effort for me and treat me well. Fei Yang's hope was immediately rekindled. Wanting, watch my performance. I guarantee no one can treat you better than me. While the classmates teased each other, and Chen Wanting smiled, handling it with ease. However, Yang Zhenshuo had some reservations about the content of their conversation. There will be another update tonight. Chapter 12 The Spirit Beast brings a message. Sometimes it's not that the world is too coincidental, but that your own circle is too small. Ximen Agricultural University, Yang Zhenshuo and Changbo's alma mater, had its first mystery-solving game shop located on the commercial street outside the school. Yang Zhenshuo met Chen Wanting when his career was booming and he was making a fortune. He got her WeChat, and Chen Wanting invited him out to dinner several times. He felt embarrassed to refuse, so he went. To be honest, it's hard to resist a young and beautiful girl taking the initiative to ask a single guy out. Women's needs in choosing a partner may be diverse, but almost every man's thoughts are the same. Before long, they started dating. Brother Shuo, can I come to your shop to see you later? Brother Shuo, let's have dinner together tonight. I'll treat you to Hey DeLeo. This is the first time I've ever taken the initiative to ask a guy out to dinner. Please pay attention to me. I'm so bored in the dorm alone. I really want someone to keep me company. A girl's shy voice came from Yang Zhenshuo's phone, the kind that's as sweet as can be. Chen Wanting's body froze instantly. The others stopped and looked at the person coming from behind with questioning eyes. They all heard Chen Wanting's voice. Clap clap clap. Yang Zhenshuo clapped his hands and stepped forward. What a satisfying invitation. Wasn't it, Wanting? Everyone looked at Chen Wanting, who had just been maintaining a pure image, but now the tables had turned, and her face was flushed red. Fei Yang, unable to bear seeing his goddess so wronged, shouted, "Don't you have any sense of responsibility? Don't you know a girl's privacy needs to be protected? How can you be a man if you publicly humiliate a girl like this?" These words shocked not only Yang Zhenshuo but also the other classmates. However, Fei Yang continued to defend his goddess, saying, "No matter what you said before, Wanting doesn't want to talk to you anymore. She's only annoyed with you. Delete her now and stop bothering her." Although it was nonsense, Chen Wanting seemed to have found a foothold and immediately chimed in, "Yang Zhenshuo, go away. Don't come to school to find me. I told you yesterday that I'm very busy lately and don't have time. Please stop deliberately bothering me, okay?" Her best friend chimed in sarcastically, "Look at yourself now. Do you think you're good enough for Wanting? Wanting has so many suitors. Who do you think you are? See that Bentley? That belongs to the son of the Zhao group. He was begging Wanting for his WeChat yesterday. Can you afford it even if you work your whole life?" Everyone else stared at Chen Wanting in surprise. Zhao Xianxi's name was renowned throughout the entire agricultural university. He was known for his generosity and lavish lifestyle. Anyone who had ever spoken to him had never been treated unfairly. And his family's wealth, well, let's just say they had more money than they could spend, as long as he didn't do any crazy investments or business ventures. For someone like that to pursue Chen Wanting,
She was practically a phoenix rising from the ashes. Graduation, job hunting, civil service exams, postgraduate studies, none of that mattered. She could just focus on becoming Mrs. Zhao. Looking at the Bentley, Chen Wanting gradually gained confidence. I didn't want to tell you this, but that's the truth. You can leave now. Don't humiliate yourself. Chen Wanting's ambiguous words surprised the students even more, especially the female students, whose eyes were practically overflowing with envy and jealousy. Only one person remained frozen in place, Fei Yang. Even if he got rid of this guy, was it still not his chance to win the goddess's heart? He mustered his courage and said, but not necessarily, after all, finding someone who loves and cherishes you is the most important thing. Money can be earned later, right? How no one paid him any attention. Yang Genshuo looked at the car they were pointing at. Are you talking about that Bentley Bentayga? His best friend Xiaoxiao snorted coldly. You've got some knowledge. 4 million, hissed the students gasped. This number directly shocked them, especially those companies that had just come to the school to recruit, offering a monthly salary of 4,000 yuan. It would take 1,000 months of saving without eating or drinking to afford it. Oh? So this is young Master Zhao who got out of the car, Yang Genshuo said somewhat jokingly. Chen Wanting looked at Zhao Xianxi walking towards her, her steps hurried, with a slightly ingratiating smile. She raised her chin slightly and said reservedly, we're just friends for now, so don't say anything inappropriate later. She thought Zhao Xianxi had come over because he saw her there. After all, she was the most beautiful person among everyone present, and Zhao Xianxi had no reason to look at anyone else. All attention shifted to Zhao Xianxi. Zhao Xianxi noticed a group of people staring at him and touched his nose. Are you all crazy? Staring at someone at night? Haven't you ever seen a handsome guy before? He turned and said ingratiatingly, Brother Shuo, are you done with work? I'll take you home. Chen Wanting's expectant look turned to horror. At this moment, watching Zhao Xianxi's cautious demeanor in front of Yang Genshuo, she felt a little dazed, as if everything was too surreal. Yang Genshuo pointed at Chen Wanting. You two know each other. Zhao Xianxi stared at Chen Wanting for a moment, seemingly remembering something. Oh. You're the girl who asked for my widget in front of my car yesterday at noon, right? I have face blindness, I don't remember very well, sorry. Are you friends with Brother Shuo too? Yang Genshuo, ex-girlfriend. Then I'll delete her. Chen Wanting's face turned pale. At this moment, she felt like she suddenly had a red nose, and she could vaguely hear Batman's voice in her ears. Go back to Gotham quickly, I promise I won't hit you anymore. What? Chen Wanting could no longer bear the humiliation of being publicly executed and ran away crying. Fei Yang was secretly delighted, thinking, now it's my turn, right, Wanting, wait for me. The other classmates, watching the bizarre scene under the night sky, felt they had eaten too much gossip and were feeling bloated, so they needed to find a class group chat to digest their food. Yang Genshuo smiled coldly, no longer wanting to look at someone like Chen Wanting. At this moment, he was even a little relieved that his shop had gone bankrupt, and that he had also seen just how shameless a person could be. Zhao Xianxi was already used to this kind of situation. Brother Shuo, women don't really matter. Just cure my kidneys and let me regain the peak vitality I should have at this age, and this Bentley is yours, Lu Sun once said, young and promising, driving a Bentley. Love is always sweet. Yang Genshuo turned around and said, by the way, isn't your friend's kidneys bad? Why are you using the first person? Zhao Xianxi said quietly, Brother Shuo, you can't do this. Zhao Xianxi took Yang Genshuo home. It was already 11 p.m. He took out a sperm strengthening and vitality returning pill from the study. Zhao Xianxi only had to smell it once. The refreshing herbal aroma captivated him. Brother Shuo, my sense of smell tells me this is absolutely top-notch. He swallowed it, and a warm current flowed from top to bottom, extending to his kidneys, instantly unleashing his vitality. Even after taking small pills for a year, Zhao Xianxi felt an astonishing surge of masculinity at this moment. Brother Shuo. It worked. Here are the Bentley keys. I'm going out to conquer the world. I'm incredibly strong now, Yang Genshuo said embarrassedly. This is too valuable. And how will you get there? I'll have my driver bring my sports car over. Okay, come back in a week for the second pill. Alright. Zhao Xianxi left excitedly, and a Bentley Bentayga appeared in Yang Genshuo's yard. That was quite sudden. He had only planned to sell Zhao Xianxi a few pills to pay off his 200,000 yuan loan,
but now he had directly acquired a 4 million yuan Bentley Bentayga. Maybe this is what a real rich guy is like. But I'll be richer than him in the future. Back in his study, he looked at his computer. Half a day had passed in the game. Yang Shi sat alone in the safe house on the mountain, under the electric light, engrossed in reading the 36 stratagems, a satisfied smile on his face. Yang Genshuo smiled. This was exactly what he wanted. Yang Shi had a very low level of education. In the 12 years he had been a beggar, he had only been taught by some educated old beggars and could only read and write some common characters. After Zhang Xiaobei arrived, he not only helped Yang Shi keep track of the tea house's bills but also frequently taught him cultural knowledge. Yang Shi was quick to understand and absorb the information. The 36 stratagems, a crystallization of ancient wisdom, also helped Yang Shi improve his cognitive abilities. As the head of the Yang family, since Yang Shi cannot pursue the path of immortality, he must rely on methods and strategies to lead the Yang family to continuous development until an immortal cultivator emerges within the family. Although Zhang Xiaobei could manifest to make decisions for Yang Shi at crucial moments, in fast-forwarded time, Yang Shi had to rely mostly on himself. Time acceleration. In the game, the Yang family developed steadily without any major moves. Yang's tea house added 10 decks of Three Kingdoms Kill and 1 deck of Werewolf, making business even more booming. Queues formed in front of the tea house, and Yang Shi bought the adjacent shop to expand the tea house. Yang Shi practiced martial arts during the day and studied the 36 stratagems at night, leading a fulfilling yet monotonous life. Yang Genshuo was getting drowsy. He glanced at the time. It was already midnight. Go to sleep. The spirit rice should be ripe by tomorrow morning. Let's see how much we can harvest. He yawned, just about to briefly explain his seclusion to Yang Shi, when a glowing horse galloped towards the Yang family manor in the night. Huh? A spirit beast. Riding the spirit horse was Liao Xiao, the manager of the Qingxi County Treasure Pavilion. He was incredibly fast, reaching the gates of the Yang family manor in no time. He shouted anxiously, "Brother Yang Shi, something terrible has happened." Chapter 13. Are you going to get involved with my Yang family's immortal destiny? Crimson Blood Horse Spirit Beast Lifespan 12/60 Realm, 5th level of fetal breathing talents, Tenacity, Mortal, Blood Drip Charge, Earth level, Tenacity, Mortal, Endurance plus 20%, better able to withstand hunger and pain. Blood Drip Charge, Earth level, consumes ki and blood for a burst of charge, increasing speed by 100%. This is a true spirit beast. Liao Xiao rode it like the wind, rushing over from outside the field of vision, its speed far surpassing that of ordinary stallions. Its coat was bright, its physique robust, and a single wisp of red mane on its head was extremely striking. Yang Genshuo glanced at the Crimson Blood Horse's attributes. Liao Xiao had already met Yang Shi. This was the first time Yang Shi had seen Liao Xiao in such a hurry. Usually, he was always calm and composed. Manager Liao, what brings you to my manor so late at night? Liao Xiao dismounted, his face covered in sweat. Brother Yang Shi, you're in deep trouble, huh? What is it? Just now, news came from the headquarters of my treasure pavilion in Yulong County that 3 days ago, a half-steppin' swordsman from the Jie family was searching for the maker of the bigu cake, and now he's heading towards Qinglong County. Yang Shi raised an eyebrow, but before he could speak, Hu Zi behind him had already raised his whip, slamming it to the ground with a crack, and angrily shouted, "You traitor, you betrayed my Yang family. I'll whip you to death today." Yang Shi reached out to stop Hu Zi. Don't be impulsive. Treasure Pavilion has always had a very good reputation in the martial arts world. We don't question the origin of our treasures, and we pay on time. Boss Liao, can you give me an explanation? Sigh. Liao Xiao sighed. That's true in the martial arts world, but what if they're not from the martial arts world? The Jie family? Could it be the Jade Dragon Immortal Clan, the Jie family of spirit plants? I see. Yang Shi didn't criticize Liao Xiao anymore, because he knew that Treasure Pavilion was just a mortal force, and it was impossible for them to go against a cultivation family for his sake. Liao Xiao cupped his hands in greeting. Although my Treasure Pavilion cannot safeguard Brother Yang's secrets, headquarters dispatched a Crimson Blood Horse, a spirit beast capable of traveling 1,000 miles a day, to deliver this message and help Brother Yang avoid disaster. This is the limit of what my Treasure Pavilion can do. Right now, that half-steppin' swordsman is still on his way and will arrive in about 2 days. It's still not too late to escape.
Please quickly pack your valuables and leave this place immediately, Liao Xiao sincerely advised Yang Shi with a sense of guilt. Yang Shi took a deep breath, quickly processing the sudden news. What about her board game tea house? At this moment, Zheng Xiaobei also emerged from her boudoir, her face pale. It was the culmination of her and Yang Shi's hard work. She had personally cleaned every corner, carefully wiped every card, and even engraved the Three Kingdoms kill battle zones on each table. Tiger looked at the vast manor. This was the first time he had found a home after so many years of wandering. He clenched his fists tightly. Brother Shi, I'm going to fight the Jie family to the death. Nobody will survive, Liao Xiao said anxiously. Don't act rashly. As long as we're alive, we can always fight again, Yang Shi was thinking. Yang Genshuo was also thinking. An unexpected disaster? No. A common man is innocent, but possessing a treasure is a crime. Selling items that don't belong to that era will definitely trigger a butterfly effect. I just didn't expect that these compressed biscuits would be coveted by a cultivation family. Spirit rice, spirit fruit, whatever they grow. Isn't it much better than this stuff? Eating too much of this stuff will only make you choke. Spirit food can strengthen your physique and replenish your spiritual energy. How strange. He racked his brains but couldn't figure out what attraction these compressed biscuits would have for a cultivation family specializing in spiritual plants. But at this moment, he and Yang Shi both had one thing in common. The other party definitely wasn't coming with goodwill. It's like a modern army encountering a backward tribe. They would never sit down and negotiate trade with a chief. Instead, they would kill those who resisted and become the tribe's master. Without the ability to fight back, they would only resort to plunder. How can we break this deadlock? Yang Zhenshuo's mind raced. Yang Shi, while pondering, frequently glanced at the sky. The familiar golden hand and characters from his ancestors still hadn't appeared. It seemed he had to rely on himself. Yang Shi didn't know if his ancestor was in seclusion or deliberately testing him. The 36 stratagems began to circulate in his mind. Manager Liao, could you find me a grandmaster of the innate realm? I'm willing to pay a large sum to have him eliminate this swordsman, the third of the 36 stratagems, using a borrowed knife to kill. Liao Xiao shook his head. Let alone whether I can find a grandmaster of the innate realm for you. Our Qingxi County hasn't had one for many years. Those who truly dedicate themselves to martial arts have all gone to Yulong County to learn from masters. What about before? Qinglong County has hundreds of thousands of people in the surrounding villages, yet not a single one has achieved the status of a grandmaster of the innate realm. Back then, 5 years ago, there was a grandmaster of the innate realm named Liu Wuhan. He was from Qingxi County. After mastering his martial arts, he returned to establish his own school, intending to take on disciples and pass on his mantle. However, his daughter suddenly fell seriously ill, and after failing to find a cure, he disappeared. It's said he went to find a miraculous medicine for his daughter, and his whereabouts remain unknown. Hearing this, Yang Shi appeared slightly disappointed. After pondering for a moment, Yang Shi seemed to have a new plan. Manager Liao, I have 2 questions for you. Speak. I will answer to the best of my knowledge. First, does the Jade Dragon County Treasure Pavilion know who made the bigu cake? No, they only know it came from my Qingxi County Treasure Pavilion. Then this swordsman will definitely look for you first before finding me. Right, yes, but I can't cover for you. If he comes, I must tell him your location, otherwise my whole family will be in danger. So you should leave now, go somewhere I don't know. The world is vast. As long as you stop selling those bigu cakes, even the Jie family immortals might not be able to find you. Very good. Second question, what is the strength of this half-step innate realm cultivator? Half-step innate realm, perfectly forged physique. Internal energy permeating the entire body and ki perfectly unified, only one breath of innate true ki away from entering the innate grandmaster realm. His physical abilities are several times stronger than mine at the 5th level of body tempering. Body tempering has 10 levels. The first 5 levels refine the body, and the last 5 levels nourish the ki. A half-step innate realm cultivator's physique is only twice as strong as that of the 5th level, but with a flow of internal ki and the aid of martial arts, they can unleash 10 times the power of the 5th level of body tempering. Alright, wait a moment. After listening, a bold idea was about to emerge in Yang Shi's mind, and he quickly walked towards the ancestral hall. After a while, Yang Shi strode out, looking at Liao Xiao with a sharp gaze. Manager Liao, the other day at the tea house you asked Shi who in Qingxi County could be called a hero.
And she said he didn't know. What was Manager Liao's response? Liao Xiao thought for a moment and blurted out. A true hero is one who possesses lofty ambitions, brilliant strategies, a heart that encompasses the universe, and a will that can swallow the heavens and earth. In Qingxi County today, only Lord Shi and Xiao are worthy of such titles. Ha 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 ha, good. Then today, I'll ask Brother Liao, are you willing to be a hero with Lord Shi? This is absurd. Those were just stories told in storytelling. How can you take them seriously? How can the two of us possibly contend with that half-step-innate swordsman? I have a plan to kill that half-step-innate swordsman. Brother Liao must enter the game himself, Liao Xiao gasped, wondering what gave Yang Shi the confidence to claim he could kill a half-step-innate martial artist. Even if you could kill that swordsman, how could you contend with the Jie family immortals? Brother Yang, we are ultimately just mortals. Run, do you really think my Yang family is a mortal family? Yang Shi roared. He spread his hands, and spiritual energy surged in the sky, forming a spiritual cloud above their heads. Whoosh! Under Liao Xiao's astonished gaze, spiritual rain gently fell. The refreshing spiritual rain washed away their worldly airs. Immortal magic, Liao Xiao exclaimed in disbelief. Brother Liao, are you willing to forge a connection with the Yang family's immortal destiny? An immortal destiny? Liao Xiao's heart pounded wildly, his hands trembled, his face flushed red, and he was filled with excitement. An immortal destiny, an opportunity that so many people never encounter in their entire lives. The rise and fall of the Liao family over the centuries rested on his single thought. And then there were those miraculous fasting cakes, alpenliebe candies, and chocolates. Who but an immortal could create them? Liao Xiao is willing to enter this game. Yang Shi and Yang Genshuo in front of the screen both smiled. The seventh of the 36 stratagems, creating something from nothing. Chapter 14. A plan to kill Zhao Kuangfen. 2 days later, a cloud of dust rose from the south of Qingxi County. A swordsman wearing a bamboo hat rode in, dressed in a dark, close-fitting outfit, with an ancient-looking broadsword at his waist. He attracted the attention of many passers-by, and even the beggars at the doorway stared with wide, curious eyes. Zhao Kuangfeng had traveled for 10 days from Yulong County to Qingxi County, his face weathered and showing signs of fatigue. He had arrived at the location to complete his mission. Next, he would kill some people, obtain the recipe, capture some craftsmen, and then return to his master's house to report. This time, I can exchange it for another month's supply of spiritual food from the Jie family. Nourishing my body with spiritual energy, I might be able to try to break through to the innate grandmaster level. All martial artists have only one ultimate goal, the innate grandmaster. Reaching this realm is the pinnacle of martial arts, a legend in the martial world. Even a spiritual plant immortal clan like the Jie family would treat him with respect. Perhaps an innate grandmaster couldn't contend with a key refining expert, but slaughtering those juniors in the nascent soul stage would be a piece of cake. Therefore, unless one has no family ties, a key refining stage immortal is unwilling to easily make an enemy of his ancient grandmaster. He had been a retainer of the Jie family for many years, hoping to break through to the supreme martial arts realm with the help of the Jie family's resources. This should be the last mission I do for the Jie family. As Zhao Kuangfeng stopped, a beggar below knelt on the ground, crying out, "Great hero, please give me 2 copper coins. I haven't eaten for 3 days, I'm starving to death, please, great hero." A thin little beggar knelt before Zhao Kuangfeng's horse, begging for alms. Zhao Kuangfeng glanced at him, took out an ounce of silver, and asked with a smile, "Do you know where the treasure pavilion is?" The little beggar's eyes widened at the sight of the gleaming silver, and he nodded vigorously. "Yes, yes. Please follow me, great hero." The little beggar led Zhao Kuangfeng to the treasure pavilion. Upon arriving at the location, he looked at Zhao Kuangfeng expectantly, rubbing his hands together. "Great hero, this is the place you're looking for. Here's the silver." He smiled obsequiously. "You actually dare to ask for it?" Slap! Zhao Kuangfeng kicked the little beggar away, flicked his sleeves, and walked into the treasure pavilion. Outside, a group of beggars emerged from a street corner and surrounded the little beggar who was spitting blood from his mouth and nose, glaring furiously at the swordsman inside. The little beggar spat out several mouthfuls of blood, and with his last breath, he trembled and said, "Little Six. I've repaid Yang Shenren's meal." A relieved smile appeared on his lips, his head lolled to the side, and he stopped breathing completely. "Where is Manager Liao of the treasure pavilion?" Liao Xiao came out from inside, pretending to be puzzled.
and asked, "Who are you? What business do you have with me? I am a guest of the Jet family of the Jade Dragon Immortal clan. I have come with a token from your treasure pavilion headquarters to ask for someone." He threw out a blue token. Liao Xiao compared it several times and nodded. "This is indeed my treasure pavilion headquarters token. Who do you want?" "I, Liao, will do my best to assist you." Slap! Zhao Kuangfeng threw out a bag of compressed biscuits with the packaging intact. "Take me to the person who made these fasting cakes." Liao Xiao looked surprised. "Ah. My treasure pavilion has always been known for its treasures, regardless of their origin. This is probably against the rules. Even your treasure pavilion headquarters doesn't dare to utter a single word of rules to my Jet family. How dare a mere shopkeeper like you?" Zhao Kuangfeng said arrogantly, lightly stomping his foot on the ground. Bang! 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 The bluestone slab shattered, and stones shot out, directly damaging several items displayed in the treasure pavilion. "A half-step innate realm expert," Liao Xiao exclaimed in shock. "Now, do you still have any rules?" Liao Xiao was silent for a moment, then nodded resignedly. "Since you have the headquarters token, please follow me." This man's surname is Yang, and his given name is Hu. He moved to Yang County from another place 2 years ago. He does indeed possess extraordinary skills. His family has a workshop that can produce these fasting cakes. Liao Xiao led Zhao Kuangfeng to the edge of the county town, carefully instructing him along the way. "My Zhenpin Pavilion has some reputation in the martial arts world. If you make a move later, please be discreet and don't make things too difficult for me." Zhao Kuangfeng waved his hand. "It's alright. We're all martial arts practitioners. I'll give your Zhenpin Pavilion some face." He had also bought and sold many things from Zhenpin Pavilion before and knew that there was some power behind it. There was no need to completely antagonize them. "Then thank you. May I ask your name?" Zhao Kuangfeng. "Hiss, is that the Zhao Kuangfeng who forced back a Grandmaster of the innate realm with an 8th level gale? HMPH, you have some discernment." Zhao Kuangfeng's lips curled up slightly. The Gale Blade technique is a superior martial art in the martial world. Countless martial artists in the Jiang who aspire to become disciples of the Zhao family. To meet Master Zhao in this small county town is truly a blessing for me. After this matter is settled, would you do me the honor of having a few drinks at my home? It's all just empty fame, nothing to worry about. Zhao Kuangfeng's lips curled up even higher. In a pleasant atmosphere, Liao Xiao led Zhao Kuangfeng to an imposing mansion. This is Yang Hu's house. His workshop is hidden inside. I once saw them transporting beggar cakes from the basement. They told me to pry open the door and take care of it inside. Very good, Manager Liao, you know how to be pragmatic. Liao Xiao knocked on the door, and 2 servants came out. "Manager Liao? What brings you here?" Liao Xiao, putting on airs, said, "Your master sent me here today to discuss the sale of the beggar cakes in the neighboring county." "Where is Yang Hu?" "Oh. The master and the craftsmen are processing them in the workshop. Please wait outside for a moment, I'll go call him." "No need." Zhao Kuangfeng kicked the servant away, who collapsed unconscious in the corner. Liao can quickly and carefully close the gate. "Come with me, the basement is inside." The two entered the backyard, lifted a stone slab from the artificial hill, revealing the passage to the basement. A rich aroma of biscuits wafted out. Zhao Kuangfeng smiled slightly. That's the smell. He no longer had any doubts and went straight down. Behind him, Manager Liao called out. "This underground workshop is Yang Hu's lifeline, heavily guarded and extremely secretive. I've never been inside before, so be careful, Master Zhao. HMPH, only a Grandmaster of the innate realm deserves my." Zhao Kuangfeng's caution. The Kuangfeng blade technique emphasizes the word wild. Zhao Kuangfeng went straight down the passage and entered an outer room. Only one lamp was lit, and shelves were piled with dozens of packets of fasting cakes and other strange foods. There were no other passages, as if it were a dead end. "Hey, a little trick, trying to fool me, Zhao Kuangfeng." He looked at a wall to the east with a row of small holes. Behind them, an uncontrollable, tense heartbeat sounded as clear as the chirping of insects to half-step Xianchin martial artist. "I heard your heartbeat." Zhao Kuangfeng peered through the holes. He saw a transparent lens, then snap. A tactical flashlight switched on. A beam of light brighter than the sun pierced his eyes. His mind went blank instantly, and his eyes burned with pain. "Ah! My eyes!" Zhao Kuangfeng jumped back, rubbing his eyes violently, but when he opened them, everything was still a white blur. He couldn't see anything. Thump!
A stone door slammed shut behind him, blocking his way. At that moment, he heard sounds of movement coming from all four hidden chambers. You think you can subdue me, Zhao Kuangfeng, by ambushing me? You cowards. I'll kill you all. He drew his broadsword, his ears perked up, trying to pinpoint the location of the sounds. Even without his eyes, a half-step Xianshan cultivator could unleash formidable combat power. Sizzle sizzle sizzle, bright red liquid spurted from the holes left in the four walls. Zhao Kuangfeng darted about in the hidden chambers, but the space was too small, and his face and body were covered in the red liquid. His eyes, invaded by the red liquid, felt as if thousands of needles were piercing his eyeballs. The pain on his face was excruciating. Worst of all, he inhaled a thick odor. Cough cough cough. Poison. Cough cough cough. He tried to hold his breath, but the first two breaths caused him to cough uncontrollably, his body's energy chaotic, and he couldn't gather his internal energy. Zhao Kuangfeng's five senses were directly destroyed by the high-density capsaicin. His mind went blank, he couldn't sense anything, only that he couldn't breathe. Boom boom boom, he wildly swung his broadsword, smashing the wall until it shattered. Just then, a stone door slightly lifted. Tiger, wearing a gas mask, rolled out from the crack, brandishing an electric baton at Zhao Kuangfeng. The high-powered electric baton, capable of subduing an adult elephant in a second, instantly caused Zhao Kuangfeng to lose control of his body, collapsing to the ground, convulsing until the electrocuted areas were charred black, foaming at the mouth, and his eyes rolled back. Only then did Tiger lower the baton. Yang Shi emerged from another stone door, holding a nail gun to Zhao Kuangfeng's chest. Your life is over. Bang! 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 3 shots, 3 thick nails piercing Zhao Kuangfeng's heart. This renowned half-step Xianshan swordsman instantly died. Yang Shi and Tiger breathed a sigh of relief. This entire scheme was fraught with danger. A slight miscalculation would have made it seem less than carefully planned. The 36 stratagems, the chain strategy, as they sat on the ground catching their breath. The stone door leading outside suddenly opened. Clap clap clap. An old man clapped his hands as he walked in. Such cunning and scheming. I knew I hadn't underestimated you. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15 5 Low-Grade Spirit Stones. Thanks to Senior Liu's support, I had no worries and dared to give it my all, Yang Shi replied with a smile. Then it seems I'll have to repay this favor another day. Senior's mere presence is already a lifesaver for Yang Shi. Liao Xiao walked in from outside, covering his nose and coughing. Cough cough. It's too pungent down here, why don't you come out and say something? The police-grade pepper spray was several times hotter than the world's hottest ghost pepper. It felt like fire on the skin. Inhaling it would cause the respiratory system to collapse. Contact with the eyes could cause temporary blindness, and if you hide at close range, it could render someone incapacitated in 1 second. Even a half-step Xianshan cultivator, completely unprepared for this biological weapon, would instantly break down if hit by multiple sprays, unable to gather internal energy due to the frantic coughing. Yang Shi and Hu Zi each wore a gas mask, isolating themselves from the thick odor, which allowed them to deliver a 2-hit kill. Liu Wuhan showed no reaction. The red spray stopped 1 centimeter from his body, as if it had encountered some obstacle and could not advance any further. Tiger, drag his body out. Okay, the two walked out of the basement, followed by some martial artists who were covering their noses. These were the wandering knights who worked for the Yang family and were the ones who had been operating in sync inside. Liu Wuhan exclaimed in admiration, I've roamed the martial world for so many years and consider myself quite knowledgeable, but this is the first time I've ever seen someone at the 5th level of body tempering ambush a half-step innate realm martial artist. He only managed this thanks to a few treasures left by his ancestors and a lot of scheming. If Senior Liu were to make a move, he could take him down in a few moves. Hey, this Zhao Kuangfeng is quite talented. His self-created Gale Blade technique is extremely domineering. If he hadn't gotten involved in this incident, becoming an innate grandmaster would have been a natural progression. It's a pity he accepted a mission he shouldn't have. Yang Shi coldly stared at Zhao Kuangfeng's corpse on the ground, his heart unusually calm. He had no grudge against Zhao Kuangfeng, but Zhao Kuangfeng's attempt to oppress the Yang family had already led to his demise. From the moment he learned that Zhao Kuangfeng had come for the recipe for the bigu cake, he knew that the two were already locked in a life-or-death struggle. Because there was no recipe at all. Liu Wuhan looked at the cold and rational Yang Shi, his eyes filled with admiration. Alright, now that this matter is settled, I'll head back. Please, brother Yang Shi, come to my residence again tomorrow to treat my son Zihan's injuries. You don't know, my Zihan hasn't smiled in a long time. Please rest assured, senior, I will be there on time. This Zhao Kuangfeng should possess his swordsmanship and internal energy cultivation techniques. If you wish to learn, then do so. If it doesn't suit your personality, I can teach you a few moves. Liu Wuhan spoke and left, seemingly without any movement technique, yet he reached the courtyard gate in a few steps. Thank you, senior. Yang Shi was thrilled to receive personal instruction from a grandmaster of the innate realm. Liao Xiao was also delighted. I never expected that brother Yang not only has the protection of an immortal in his family, but also knows senior Liu. No wonder he dared to plot the assassination of Zhao Kuangfeng. I was thrown into disarray the night before. Don't say you didn't expect it. I didn't expect it either. The ancestor is awesome. There's nothing I can do about it. Yang Shi maintained a mysterious smile. Yang Genshuo, who had been closely watching the situation outside, also smiled. Who told me I could see everyone's character cards? Let's rewind to the evening 2 days prior. While Yang Genshuo was pondering a strategy to defeat his enemy, he overheard Yang Shi's use of a borrowed knife to kill. Liao Xiao said that 5 years ago in Qingxi County, a master of the innate realm planned to establish a sect and take on disciples, but disappeared after his daughter suddenly fell ill with tuberculosis and went out to seek medical treatment. This person's name was Liu Wuhan. Yang Genshuo was immediately delighted. He'd seen this person before. The old man had a full beard, a slovenly appearance, but was very generous. He frequently came to Yang's board game tea house to buy immortal floating milk tea, and never drank it in the shop, always taking the cup and returning it the next day. Yang Genshuo liked to flip through character cards when he had nothing to do. He glanced at this strange man and was immediately startled. The man's realm was clearly written, Innate Grandmaster. He remembered the name Liu Wuhan, but considering that the other party was likely a reclusive master, and Yang Shi didn't need to have any interaction with him at the moment, to avoid unnecessary karma, he didn't tell him. Since Liu Wuhan was in Qingxi County, there was an opportunity to use someone else to do his dirty work. If he could get Liu's help, he could safely get through this ordeal. Moreover, if Liu's daughter was suffering from tuberculosis, he actually had a solution. In ancient times, with limited medical resources, tuberculosis was an incurable disease, leading to death from coughing up blood. But in modern times, tuberculosis is actually pulmonary tuberculosis, which has effective drugs and can be cured with proper medication. Why did Yang Genshuo know so much? Because he had contracted tuberculosis in college and was cured after a few months of medication. To prevent relapse, he always kept those medicines at home in a safe house. The next day, Yang Genshuo visited Liu Wuhan, explained his purpose, and said that his ancestors had a divine physician who left behind some elixirs, which he wanted to use to cure his beloved daughter, begging for his help. Liu Wuhan's daughter, Liu Zihan, had been tormented by tuberculosis for 5 years, becoming emaciated, coughing incessantly, and her life hanging by a thread. Because Liu Wuhan sold his possessions to obtain a life-extending pill, he kept Liu Zihan alive, using his innate true energy to regulate her body daily, forcibly prolonging her life until today. What followed was a natural progression. The special medicine showed effects in 1 day, with significant improvement in 2 days. With continued use, she would fully recover in 2 months. Seeing his daughter saved, Liu Wuhan, a grandmaster of the innate realm, grasped Yang Shi's hand, tears streaming down his face. Zhao Kuangfeng's attempt to cause trouble for the Yang family was no different than killing his precious daughter himself. He had been secretly overseeing this affair, ready to eliminate Zhao Kuangfeng at any moment. It's no exaggeration to say that Liu Wuhan had been watching more closely than Yang Genshuo, fearing for the safety of his Zihan's savior. He left a debt of gratitude without lifting a finger. He'll be Yang Shi's trump card from now on, Yang Genshuo thought, thus supporting Yang Shi's plan to personally eliminate Zhao Kuangfeng using a series of schemes. Brother Shi. He really has martial arts manuals on him. After Liu Wuhan left, Hu Zi stripped Zhao Kuangfeng naked, taking out all his belongings. 2 martial arts manuals were the most conspicuous, the Gale Blade technique and the Overlord's Aura technique. Liao Xiao exclaimed in surprise. He's actually practicing the superior mental cultivation technique, the Overlord's aura technique. No wonder the Gale Blade technique is so powerful. Is this an internal energy cultivation technique? Yang Shi was currently at the 5th level of body tempering and wanted to advance to the 6th level. Besides training his bones to the extreme, he also needed to find a key cultivation technique. He had originally asked Liao Xiao to buy him a copy, but unexpectedly, he found one on Zhao Kuangfen. That's right. Internal energy cultivation techniques also have different levels. A superior technique, once mastered, can grant special abilities, like this the Overlord's aura technique. After circulating the ki, the muscles become as hard as iron, and the strength is immense. Not bad. Fortunately, the electric baton was a magical attack, otherwise, even if they let them attack, it would be difficult to break through Zhao Kuangfeng's defenses in a short time. Besides the 2 manuals, Hu Zi also pulled out 3 healing pills and a small bag. Opening the bag revealed 5 translucent, diamond-shaped crystals, emitting a faint glow. Yang Genshuo, watching from outside the screen, perked up. Chapter 16 The Spirit Rice Ripens. Low-grade spirit stones, 5 of them. Zhao Kuangfeng is so generous, Liao Xiao exclaimed repeatedly, even more surprised than if you had seen a martial arts manual. Yang Shi took out a crystal and held it between his index finger and thumb. Under the sunlight, white spiritual energy wafted inside the crystal, swirling and captivating, giving it an ethereal, otherworldly charm. A transparent rhomboid crystal with flowing gas inside. This looks amazing. It could go straight to a jade auction and make a fortune selling just one. Yang Genshuo clicked his tongue twice, expressing high approval of the crystal's design. Is this the spirit stone that can buy 20 caddies of spirit rice? Exactly. These 5 can be exchanged for 100,000 taels of silver in my treasure pavilion. They're priceless. He, Zhao Kuangfeng, has done a good deed. I'll accept these spirit stones as an apology for offending my Yang family. If Zhao Kuangfeng could speak, he would definitely open his eyes and curse him. An apology? He's already lost his life, isn't that enough? You presumptuous fellow, these 5 low-grade spirit stones are more valuable than all of Yang Shi's wealth combined. Manager Liao, let's leave it at that. Remember, no swordsman came to Qingxi County today, and you never saw anyone from the Jie family. Everything is as usual. I will keep my mouth shut. From now on, the Yang family is my Liao family's eternal friend. Liao Xiao is now on Yang Shi's ship and can't get off. Everything today was planned in advance by Yang Shi. Starting from the city gate, he led the way step by step into the basement of Manager Liao's private residence. Not many passers-by had even seen Zhao Kuangfen. Tiger, go to Xiangmenun and order a few tables of food for the beggar's clan brothers. Okay, Manager Liao sighed upon hearing this. Liu Zi was killed by Zhao Kuangfeng. Why? He led the way to my place to ask him for his reward money, and was kicked to death. Make a big coffin for Liu Zi, and make Zhao Kuangfeng kneel inside, repenting properly to Liu Zi on the ground, back at the Yang family manor. Brother, Zheng Xiaobei, who was waiting at the door, rushed over crying, clinging to Yang Shi and sobbing softly. Although Yang Shi had told her that he had found powerful outside help, Zheng Xiaobei still felt immense helplessness and worry while waiting in the manor. She could do nothing but pray that her brother Yang would return safely. She hated this feeling of powerlessness. Xiaobei, don't cry. I have the protection of the Yang family ancestors. Nothing will happen to me. I didn't want to cry, but I just can't help it. Zheng Xiaobei wiped her red eyes, her cute little face streaked with tears. The girl's stunning beauty was beginning to blossom, like a lotus emerging from the water. Yang Shi couldn't help but pinch Zheng Xiaobei's pitiful little face. Alright, it's all over now. We've gained quite a bit of benefit, so it's a blessing in disguise. He held up the spirit stone bag in his hand, shook it, making a crisp clinking sound, and smiled. Zheng Xiaobei's eyes lit up. Seeing this, Yang Genshuo was already so sleepy that his vision blurred. I can't stay up any longer, I'm really sleepy, time to sleep. After watering the spirit field with spirit rain one last time, Yang Genshuo typed seclusion and fell asleep on the single bed in the study. Time in the game accelerates, 2 years 20 days. Yang Shi becomes a disciple of the innate Grandmaster Liu Wuhan, who teaches him the Wuhan sword technique and the Ming Xinju. Yang Shi trains diligently. Hu Zi learns the Kuangfeng saber technique and the Bakiju. 2 years 58 days. Yang Shi fluently performs the entire Wuhan sword technique, reaching the beginner level of proficiency. 2 years 65 days, Liu Zihong's tuberculosis is cured. Liu Wuhan is extremely pleased and gives Yang Shi a bottle of copper tendon iron bone pills, which strengthens tendons and bones and is the best elixir for the 5th level of body tempering. 2 years 100 days, the spirit rice ripens. What a bountiful year! In the bamboo forest, the Jie family members are busy harvesting spirit rice, the most important time of the year for the family. Jie Yangshu, who manages the Jie family's treasury, strolls around, quite pleased, but then his gaze shifted, and he saw that on the towering Vajra fruit tree, the clan chief Jie Yangying was sitting cross-legged, frowning as he gazed into the distance. This year's spirit rice yield is quite abundant. Even after deducting the offerings to the Xuanxi sect, we still have a surplus of 20,000 caddies of spirit rice and spirit wheat. Why are you worried, brother? Jie Yangshu lightly floated up the tree trunk. I'm afraid something has happened to my retainer, Zhao Kuangfeng. Perhaps the journey was long, and some troubles caused a delay. Besides, escorting mortal craftsmen is quite troublesome. I calculated that as long as he didn't leave Yulong County, he would definitely return in 1 to 3 months. Now 4 months have passed, and there's still no news. He's most likely met with misfortune. Zhao Kuangfeng is at the half-step Xiantian realm. Few mortals could hold him back, right? If something happened to him, it would definitely be a Xiantian grandmaster who intervened. What if it was another cultivator? Unlikely. If it were a cultivator like you or me, we could afford spirit wheat flour. He could easily make his own spirit food and fasting cakes and sell them to the rogue cultivator market for spirit stones. Which cultivator would care about mortal gold and silver? I heard that the alchemists of the Xuanxi sect are quite short of gold. Every year, they sell some pills to the royal family to exchange for gold. Am I asking you to find an exception to refute me? I'm saying that in most cases, cultivators don't need gold and silver. You're being much more precise, brother. That's exactly what I meant. Then why didn't you say so earlier? Would there have been no doubts if you had? Jie Yangying's forehead throbbed. He felt that his younger brother hadn't broken through to the key refining stage yet, probably because he always thought about strange things while cultivating. So our next step is to abandon this formula and continue with our spiritual plant family. Jie Yangying kicked Jie Yangshu off the tree. Go collect your spiritual rice. Don't come back up here. I think farming every day is fine. What's with all the scheming? Don't look down on me just because you're in the key refining stage. You're already losing hair. You might not even live as long as me. Jie Yangshu muttered and left, leaving Jie Yangying trembling with anger on the spiritual tree. The path to immortality is long. How can one achieve great things without careful planning? My whole life has been like walking on thin ice. Calming himself, Jie Yangying gazed around for a while longer. The offerings from the Xuanxi sect cannot be delayed. I need to ripen this Vajra fruit tree before the envoys arrive to collect them from the various immortal clans. Once Jetan has refined a wisp of azure wood spiritual energy and reached the key refining stage, I'll go and kill this innate grandmaster and retrieve the formula. He sat cross-legged on the tall spiritual fruit tree, forming hand seals. Wisps of azure spiritual energy drifted from the surrounding forest, nourishing the Vajra fruit tree. Yang Genshuo only slept for 8 hours this time before waking up naturally, in excellent condition, full of energy and high spirits. He first reviewed the events of the past 6 months in the game. There was nothing that required his intervention. The spiritual rice was ripe and had been harvested and was drying outside. Once the moisture was gone, it could be stored or husked and eaten. Yang Genshuo went to the courtyard. Lin Yu's lunchbox was on the wooden table, presumably. Seeing that Yang Genshuo was still sleeping, she had left first. A heartwarming home-cooked meal. It tasted delicious. Yang Genshuo checked his body and found that he had almost absorbed the sperm-strengthening and vitality-returning pill, without the feeling of the medicine accumulating in his body. Today I'll try the ki-boosting and blood-nourishing powder. After the medicine was brewed, the broth emitted a faint herbal fragrance, and the taste was slightly intoxicating. After drinking it, Yang Genshuo's body began to heat up, and a layer of dense sweat appeared on his skin. He felt like he was sitting in a sauna, hot and sweating profusely, making his body itchy from the inside out. I still need to train. He trained intensely for 3 hours before the heat subsided. After taking a shower, looking at himself in the mirror, Yang Genshuo couldn't help but touch his chin. It's getting slightly more angular. He felt his fat was quietly leaving. The tall, handsome man he once was seemed to be returning.
Once I finish taking all the body-strengthening medicines, my physical condition will definitely be amazing." Sitting in front of the computer, Yang Genshuo prepared to chat with Yang Shi for a few minutes. At this moment, a sudden change occurred. A cloud of spiritual rain suddenly gathered above the Yang family manor, pouring down onto the spiritual fields where spirit rice seeds had just been planted. Yang Genshuo was taken aback. "Huh? I didn't do anything." Chapter 17 Tiger and Leopard Forest. Suddenly, Yang Genshuo saw someone casting a spell on the Yang family's spiritual field. He rubbed his eyes and looked again. Zhang Xiaobei was sitting cross-legged outside the spiritual field, her palms flat on either side of her body shimmering with a faint light. Yang Genshuo's heart stirred, and he opened Zhang Xiaobei's character card. Name, Zhang Xiaobei. Gender, female. Identity, owner of Yang's board game tea house. Lifespan, 16/100. Realm, first level of the fetal breathing stage. Spiritual roots, 5 spiritual roots. Metal, 17. Wood, 23. Water, 20. Fire, 20. Earth, 20. Comprehension, 20. Luck, 20. Talent, wood affinity, earth level. Skills, mystic stone key induction technique, spirit rain technique. It really is her. Sigh. I knew that people with spiritual roots weren't so simple. How could an ordinary family give birth to a child with spiritual roots? Yang Genshuo's thoughts returned to the day he took in Zhang Xiaobei 2 years ago in the game. That day, after the initial excitement of finding an SR card, he calmed down and made a peculiar decision. He wouldn't tell Zhang Xiaobei about her spiritual root. He would keep this a secret until Yang Shi died. Once you embark on immortal cultivation, you're lost in the vastness of the world. If you don't think about it, who can forget it? Zhang Xiaobei's natural lifespan was 100 years, while Yang Shi was only 74 years older than her. This meant that normally, even after Yang Shi died, she could live for another 34 years. If she continued cultivating, her lifespan would be even longer. At that time, the highly skilled Zhang Xiaobei would become the true ruler of the Yang family, something Yang Genshuo didn't want to see. But reality didn't follow his script. Zhang Xiaobei herself embarked on the path of cultivation. Looking at the records, 3 months ago, Zhang Xiaobei had taken 2 low-grade spirit stones from Yang Shi. In 3 months, she had entered the ranks of cultivators. Even if the spirit rain technique is simple, you still need someone to teach you, right? Where did the mysterious stone key induction technique come from? Zhang Xiaobei, how much are you hiding? Yang Genshuo rubbed his face, feeling that things were out of his control. Even the spirit rain falling from the sky couldn't make him happy. In some ways, Yang Shi and Yang Genshuo's brainwaves were quite compatible. The moment Yang Shi saw Zhang Xiaobei casting the rain, he roughly understood why his ancestor had asked him to take in Zhang Xiaobei and treat her well. "Brother, I've mastered it. I'm a cultivator now. I can protect you from now on." 1,000 thoughts flashed through his mind, but in the end, seeing the little potato running towards him with a happy face, he hugged her tightly and affectionately patted her head. "Silly girl, so what if I'm cultivating immortality? Am I proud of being a half-step innate grandmaster? From now on, you'd better work hard at farming for my family." Zhang Xiaobei lifted her head from Yang Shi's embrace, her cheeks flushed, and whispered, "It's our family." Things had come to this point, and despite Yang Genshuo's numerous plans, he had no choice but to yield to change. Hopefully, this is a good thing for the Yang family. Thinking of the smiles on the faces of the 2 people embracing in that world, Yang Genshuo smiled helplessly. At least from the current perspective, it's a good thing. The Yang family had its first cultivator. Although Zhang Xiaobei's spellcasting is quite weak, and her spirit rain technique isn't as effective as my blessing, it's good because it's a daily freebie, saving my limited incense points, so I can focus on helping Yang Shi unlock blessing, vitality. He glanced at his incense points. He still had 104 points. These incense points aren't enough to unlock buffs every day. Is there a way to quickly increase incense points? He looked at the description of incense points. Incense points have endless uses. They are the bond between you and your descendants. The growth of your family will increase incense points. More uses will be unlocked as your family grows. Family growth? Family development. He filtered through the historical messages, finding all the ways to increase incense points. He summarized the following tags: faith, wealth, personnel, martial power, cultivation technology tree. I've increased incense points in all 5 areas.
Faith can only be earned occasionally from Yang Shi, very little, like carrots and chickens. As for wealth, increasing the family's total assets will increase incense points. He glanced at a recent record, obtained the first low-grade spirit stone, incense points plus 50. Personnel are fine. Tiger will lead the wandering knights to capture more black ghosts to replenish the manor, accumulating slowly. Martial power is hopeless. He can only watch Yang Shi slowly level up. The cultivation technology tree is interesting. It triggers the first time you do something related to cultivation, like farming. Yang family's first planting of spirit fields, incense points plus 50. First harvest of spirit rice, incense value plus 50. The rewards are very generous. Just like the achievement system in a game, with a summary, Yang Genshuo had a plan. Develop, farm, earn spirit stones. If only I could find a few more spirit fields. Yang Genshuo loved playing virtual farming. This 1 acre of spirit field was simply not enough. Perhaps I can send Yang Shi out to look for some, just in case there are any undiscovered spirit fields. In his 3D top-down view, as long as the spirit fields weren't hidden inside caves, he could see a pale blue light, manifestation. Now that your strength has increased, go out more often outside the city and find new spirit fields. A wisp of my soul is attached to you, and I can sense spirit fields within a 100-meter radius around you. Yes, ancestor. After spending more time together, Yang Shi felt that this immortal ancestor, who has now only a soul, was very kind and approachable, without any airs, just like his father, unconditionally good to him. Thinking of his father, the image of the bloodshed that befell his entire family when he was 6 years old flashed through his mind, and he clenched his fist tightly. One day, I will make the Xiong family pay for their blood debt. Time accelerated, 2 years, 189 days. Yang Shi led Hu Zi and 10 other warriors at the 3rd level of body tempering out of the city to the remote tiger and leopard forest. They were attacked. Hu Zi used the Gale Blade technique to kill 2 adult tigers and collect 12 precious herbs, but failed to find a spirit field. 2 years, 193 days. Yang Shi led his team out of the tiger and leopard forest again, killing several wild beasts and collecting 8 precious herbs, but failed to find a spirit field. 2 years, 200 days. Yang Shi set out again, but was surrounded by ferocious beasts. The entire team was injured and escaped in disarray. 2 years, 215 days. The spirit rice was completely dried. Zhang Xiaobei husked it to obtain spirit rice, steamed it, and ate it with Yang Shi. Their bodies were nourished by the spiritual energy. You used the blessing on Yang Shi, vitality. Yang Shi's training speed has increased. Time passed with Yang Shi's body tempering and outings, until the end of this year. After 2 years and 348 days, Yang Shi ventured deep into the tiger and leopard forest, encountering a giant fire tiger at the 5th level of the nascent soul stage. Its claws spewed fire, leaving anyone touched in a charred mess. Yang Shi's team fought it for a long time, losing 3 rangers and sustaining injuries. After a sneak attack with electric batons, they finally killed the fire tiger with the traceless sword technique. In the fire tiger's lair, Yang Shi found a sleeping tiger cub in a rockberry tree. The ground beneath the tree shimmered with a faint light. Good. Hard work pays off. After searching for half a year, I finally found something good. Chapter 18. The Xiong family has already decided their demise. Tiger and leopard forest is a forbidden zone for the people of Qingxi County. Its very name is enough to stop a child from crying. It's teeming with ferocious beasts, and even a body-tempering level 5 martial artist like Yang Shi, leading a small team, has suffered injuries multiple times this year. Flame tiger, spirit beast, fire element, lifespan 1/70, realm, first level of fetal breathing, talent, rolling flames, mortal rank, rolling flames, mortal rank. As cultivation increases, the body's surface can release high-temperature flames. A young spirit beast. Take it back and raise it. It's far superior to that giant field mouse. Yang Genshuo didn't even need to manifest his spirit. Yang Shi thought the same thing. Besides the tiger cub, there was a spirit tree bearing orange-red fruit, with 3 spirit fruits hanging on it. Rock fruit, spirit fruit, spiritual energy concentration. 2, 5 elements attributes, fire 80, wood 20. Clearly, this tiger had advanced to spirit beast level by eating these spirit fruits. Yang Shi took the tiger cub back to Zhang Xiaobei, who was overjoyed. She named the flame tiger Little Fire, compared to the 3 rock berries from the spirit tree that he didn't know how to use. The 3 acres of spirit fields beneath the spirit tree surprised Yang Genshuo even more. This proved that they could cultivate more land again. Farming is great. This time, Yang Genshuo planned to have Yang Shi plant some spirit wheat, not only to change things up, but also to see if he could trigger an achievement and earn some incense points. The important task of buying spirit wheat seeds naturally fell to Manager Liao. Manager Liao looked at the visiting Yang Shi with a suspicious look in his eyes. How did you know I just harvested 20 caddies of spirit wheat? That's a coincidence. Just sell it to me. You'll get a low-grade spirit stone for free. No problem, no problem. I'll go get it for you right away. Holding 20 caddies of spirit wheat with stalks still attached, the enticing aroma of wheat wafted out, and Yang Shi sniffed it carefully. The aroma is somewhat similar to that of fasting cakes. Liao Xiao smiled. Indeed, when I first received your fasting cakes, they were so sweet that I thought they contained spirit wheat powder. But after eating one, I didn't feel any spiritual energy passing through my body, so I put my doubts aside. Yang Shi had been eating spirit rice frequently lately, so he naturally understood this wonderful feeling, a completely different experience from eating food without spiritual energy. The rice made from spirit rice was more like medicinal cuisine, slowly regulating his body, and his abilities in all aspects were gradually increasing. By the way, where did you get this spirit wheat, Manager Liao? Is there perhaps a family of spirit plant growers in Qingxi County? Liao Xiao originally wanted to refuse, but considering their current relationship, he closed the door and whispered, "This year's spirit wheat and last year's spirit rice were both sold to me by the same person. He's not a cultivator, but an ordinary mortal who has been exchanging 20,000 taels of silver from me every year for several years." Oh? Who is it? Yang Shi couldn't remember having such a person in Qingxi County. The steward of the Xiang family, Xiang Sen. Upon hearing the name Xiang family, Yang Shi's smile vanished, replaced by a thoughtful expression. "What is it?" Liao Xiao asked. I'm wondering how a mere mortal like Xiang San could possess such a spiritual object. That's a matter of the Xiang family. I advise you not to inquire. In the entire Qingxi County, including the county magistrate and even Senior Liu, no one dares to offend the Xiang family. Rumor has it that they are backed by the Grand Tutor Xiang Zuo. I know. I have other matters to attend to today, so I'll take my leave. The Xiang family manor is located in the southeastern suburbs of Qingxi County, while the Yang family manor is located in the northwestern suburbs. The two are mirror images of each other, with Qingxi County as the center. Since leaving the safe house, Yang Shi has never visited the Xiang family manor. He fears that if he sees that place, he won't be able to suppress his anger, and he also lacks the power to do anything. That used to be the Yang family manor, his home. Waiter, are there any seats on the second floor? Yes, one VIP seat on the second floor, sitting in a tavern closest to the Xiang family manor. Yang Shi leaned against the window, squinting as he observed. He couldn't see anything. The Xiang family has raised the wall, at least 5 meters high. What are they trying to hide? How can Xiang San sell 20 jin of spirit rice and spirit wheat every year? Could it be? Yang Shi secretly had a guess. At this moment, a golden hand appeared in the sky, pointing at the Xiang mansion, transforming into a line of words. Damn it, Yang Shi couldn't see inside the wall, but Yang Genshuo could. He had a top-down perspective. He could see everything within 100 meters of Yang Shi, and could even zoom in and out. The scenery inside the wall made Yang Genshuo furious. Looking at the spirit fields that were glowing on half the screen, Yang Genshuo's face turned red with jealousy. Hooray! All hoorays, the Xiang family has already met their demise. Yang Shi had spent half a year fighting tigers and leopards, losing 3 subordinates, to acquire 3 mu of spirit fields. He was even somewhat smug, feeling that his family was about to rise. But now, in what used to be the Yang family's courtyard, the ground was full of spirit fields. The Xiang family was right in front of them, working hard, the spiritual rain relentlessly spraying into the ground. This filled Yang Genshuo with astonishment, anger, shame, and a sliver of excitement. If we could bring this into the Yang family, farming would be incredibly lucrative. They could earn a fortune in spirit stones every year selling spirit rice and wheat, enough to support even a few cultivators in the family. After hearing the information his ancestor had gathered, Yang Shi immediately understood why the Xiang family, with whom he had no prior grudge, had silently wiped out the entire Yang family. It was all because of these immortal provisions. You have a treasure trove but no strength, So I'll exterminate your entire family and seize your treasure trove. Is this what cultivation is? Yang Shi closed his eyes, recalling the countless unseeing corpses filing the courtyard that day, and 2 streams of tears flowed down his face. After finishing a jar of wine, Yang Shi staggered away. Back home, he would immediately intensify his body tempering. Ancestor, please grant me immortal power. I want to become stronger. Blessing used, vitality, incense value -1. Watching Yang Shi tirelessly wielding the traceless sword technique in the manner, Yang Genshuo sighed. With these spiritual fields, the Yang family has developed for 18 years. I wonder what kind of behemoth they've become. I even saw 3 cultivators casting spells on those spiritual fields. Can you, a mere mortal, possibly contend with them? Time accelerated, and the 3rd year in the cultivation world had passed. It was time for the annual ancestral worship ceremony again. Your descendant Yang Shi has successfully completed this year's ancestral worship ceremony. Incense value +10. You have received offerings from members of the Yang family. 10 jin of spiritual rice, 2 jin of spiritual wheat, the traceless sword technique, the gale blade technique, the mind clarity technique, and the overlord technique. Would you like to bestow a reward upon the Yang family descendants? Yang Genshuo hadn't gone out that day. Having nothing good to give, he simply picked out a book from the bookshelf and gave it to Yang Shi. The Art of War. Yang Shi's comprehension was quite good. His use of a series of stratagems to kill Zhao Kuangfeng was quite impressive. Yang Genshuo hoped he would continue to improve. After the rewards were distributed, before Yang Genshuo could even look at his offerings, his phone rang at an inopportune moment. Mr. Yang, have you raised the 200,000? Your latest repayment deadline is 3 days away. Hurry, hurry, hurry. What's the rush? Tell your bank manager to wait for me at the bank this afternoon to settle the accounts. Yang Genshuo rubbed his nose, feeling quite domineering. I'm sorry, Mr. Yang, our bank manager is very busy and doesn't have time to deal with these small loans. Oh dear. Yang Genshuo hurriedly hung up the phone, feeling no satisfaction at all. However, repaying the debt was a given. He took out the offerings he received yesterday, 10 50 grams gold bracelets. He went to 10 gold shops in Shimen City and sold them all, getting 240,000. Easy peasy. Just as he was about to take a taxi to the bank to repay the loan, he received a WhatsApp message from Chen Wanting. Brother Shuo, that night was a misunderstanding. The reason is complicated. Do you have time? I'll explain it to you in person. Yang Genshuo slapped his thigh. Damn it. She can see my bank card transfer records on her phone. Chapter 19 Hybrid Rice Project. Wanting, you're all dressed up so beautifully. Are you going out tonight? Can I come with you? In the girls' dormitory at the Agricultural University, Zaya Oxeo, on the top bunk, poked her head out, her chubby little hands covered in potato chip crumbs as she brushed her bangs aside, revealing a slightly edited version of her face. Chen Wanting applied lipstick to her soft red lips below her lips touched, turning a vibrant, bright red, almost dripping with moisture. She looked radiant. I can't take you today, I have something important to do. Are you going shopping? Can you bring me back a few bags of potato chips? Shopping? Sort of. I'm planning to empty my shopping cart. Can you add a Lay's gift pack to my cart? Depends on my mood. Chen Wanting, carrying her small bag, walked gracefully out of the dormitory. Her elegant figure and beautiful clothes were the envy of many girls from ordinary families along the way. Some of them might not look worse than Chen Wanting without makeup, but this makeup made all the difference. With just a touch of light makeup, she was already a stunning beauty in school. No wonder Yang Genshuo couldn't resist her charms for long before surrendering. It's like that popular question online, girl, I heard them say that if a girl with even a little bit of looks actively pursues you guys, the guys can't resist. Boy, I'm different from them. Even if someone's ugly, I can't resist. It sounds like a joke, but there's some truth to it. A few girls from the next dorm said sourly, dressed so flashy, doesn't look like a student at all. I wonder what she's been up to. HMPH, look at that coat, I'm so jealous. I tried it on when I was shopping last time, but I didn't buy it. It's a designer piece, over 2,000 yuan, huh? I remember she applied for a financial aid program in her freshman year. This kind of spending? Should we report her? She stopped applying for financial aid a long time ago. Why would you report her? Ever since she found an older guy, she's dressed up like a Cinderella, and those stinky guys have made her the most beautiful girl in the department. PFFT, no matter how much she dresses up, She can't compare to Liu Ann from their dorm. She's naturally beautiful. Being as good as you is enough. You're so jealous. I'm going to kill you. Home, don't grab me. I hate you. Girls like Chen Wanting, who are beautiful and daring, are always the subject of discussion. Crazy. Yang Genshuo rolled his eyes, ignored Chen Wanting's messages, and turned off the notification that she had linked her bank card to WeChat. Then he went to the bank to repay the loan, and the process was completed quickly. I still have 40,000 yuan left. Should I buy something for Yang Shi? Now, Yang Shi is his cash cow. As long as Yang Shi leads the Yang family to continue to develop, he will have plenty of ways to monetize it in the future. Last time I was in a hurry to deliver supplies and bought a lot of goods from the supermarket, wasting a lot of money. This time, I'll just order directly from JD.com. Next day delivery is still reliable. On the way home in a taxi, Yang Genshuo browsed the online store and saw the recommended compressed biscuits. He had a slight thought and recalled that the Jie family in the cultivation world sent people to find the recipe. Why do cultivators want this? What's so special about it? Yang Genshuo's current understanding of the rules and knowledge of the cultivation world mostly comes from Liao Xiao. Liu Wuhan also mentioned it a few times when teaching Yang Shi. I know that cultivators need to eat just like mortals, but whether it's the lowest level of the embryonic breathing stage, a key refining immortal, or even a foundation establishment expert, they all eat spiritual food. Absorbing spiritual energy from food is also part of cultivation. The progress speed of cultivators who eat spiritual food is much slower than those who don't. Therefore, he was even more confused as to why the Jie family, who cultivated immortality, would take a liking to this thing. Could it be that they want to make it themselves and sell it for money? That doesn't make sense. They can sell 20 caddies of spirit rice and spirit wheat for 20,000 silver taels, while Yang Shi only earns that much by selling 2,000 packs of compressed biscuits. I don't understand. Yang Genshuo vaguely felt that his understanding of immortality cultivators was flawed. Let's not sell these fasting biscuits for now. Let's get some milk tea, coffee, candy, or something like that. They're cheap, plentiful, and delicious. After placing the order, the driver had already dropped him off at his doorstep. Ding ding ding, Chengbo called. Driver, don't go yet. The giddy driver was overjoyed. The fare from the city to the suburbs was a full 40 yuan. If he could get back to the city, that would be wonderful. Godfather, please take me to get a foot massage again, please. I'll pay. Is the medicine taking effect again? Yeah, a few massages and it'll be gone. I'm busy. Damn. I'm afraid of hurting my hands. What kind of medicine is this? I've never heard of Chinese medicine being this potent. One pill lasts for 2 days? If this stuff went global, it could create a Fortune 500 pharmaceutical company. Stop talking nonsense. Just take it yourself, exercise more, sweat it out and you'll be fine. I'm hanging up now. No. I have something important to say. Go ahead, give me those rice plants. I need to get their original soil so I can test the ingredients before I can prepare the culture medium. Okay, then come pick them up tomorrow. By the way, this kind of rice has a very low yield, only 430 jin per mu. Is there any way to increase the yield? Yang Shi harvested his first batch of spirit rice last year. These spirit rice, if sold, could fetch 21 low-grade spirit stones, which is equivalent to 420,000 taels of silver. It's important to understand that even Zhao Kuangfeng, a half-step innate grandmaster, only had 5 low-grade spirit stones in savings, so this seemed like a lot. However, 430 jin of spirit rice wasn't enough to feed Yang Shi and Zhang Xiaobei. Both of them had large appetites, consuming a total of 2 jin of spirit rice daily. After offering 10 jin to Yang Genshuo, the remaining rice would only last them 210 days. It wouldn't even last a year, let alone be saved to exchange for spirit stones or money. This was an acre of spirit rice that had been carefully tended and watered with spiritual rain for a year. It was a bit unreasonable that it couldn't even feed 2 people. Chengbo on the other end of the phone said, yes, I've noticed that too. The rice has few ears, and the grains aren't full enough. It's a standard low-yield wild rice variety. But it's not a big problem. Our hybrid rice technology is very mature now. Once we get this oil from your growing area, I can do new hybrid breeding, and doubling the yield shouldn't be a problem, young master. Yang Genshuo almost thought the phone receiver was broken. Double it, 430 jin doubled is only 1,290 jin, which is just average.
Do you know how much the most advanced hybrid rice in our country can produce per mu? Huh? 2,500 jin. Damn. No wonder the online atmosphere is so bad lately. Huh? Everyone's eaten too much? Okay, go exercise first. I'm busy. Godfather, really not going for a foot massage? Go to hell. After hanging up, Yang Genshuo saw the Didi driver roll down the window and look at him expectantly. What? Not driving anymore? Made enough money, then he slammed the door shut. Didi driver, he drove off cursing. Yang Genshuo really didn't have time to take Chengbo for a foot massage. He still had so many offerings at home that hadn't been eaten. Do you need me to help you with your needs tonight? Chapter 20. Spirit rice. Yang Shi's annual production of 430 jin of spirit rice wasn't enough, but it was sufficient for Yang Genshuo. He could get 10 jin of spirit rice to last him for many days. He wasn't a martial artist like Yang Shi, eating several large bowls of rice with 2 jin of beef every meal. He dug out a rice cooker that hadn't been used for months from the kitchen and happily steamed a pot of rice for himself. The aroma was irresistible. High-end ingredients often only require the simplest cooking methods. This spirit rice is even more fragrant than Wuchang rice. With a few stir-fried dishes, it would be delicious. He was about to order takeout, but the thought of the high salt, high oil, and high seasoning of takeout made him hesitate. I'll add some slightly lighter dishes, so they don't overshadow the spirit rice. It was his first time eating food from cultivators, so he wanted to have a sense of ceremony. Looking at the leftover lunchbox still on the wooden table under the pomegranate tree, Yang Genshuo had an idea and sent a message to the little cook, Lin Yu. Come to my house for dinner tonight. I'll buy the groceries. You cook? Lin Yu replied instantly, I'm coming right now. The two prepared a small table of dishes for a bowl of spirit rice. As night fell, they finished everything, filled 2 bowls with spirit rice, and sat under the pomegranate tree. The aroma of the spirit rice wafted from the courtyard, drifting into the village streets, and the old men and women sitting by the roadside couldn't help but look around. Whose rice is this? It smells so good. Just as the two were about to enjoy a quiet dinner, the door opened. Chen Wanting, smelling the aroma of rice, walked in. Brother Shuo, you cook for yourself. Then she saw Lin Yu sitting under the pomegranate tree, and her gaze turned cold. Yang Genshuo, what's she doing here? Yang Genshuo looked annoyed. He had forgotten to change the combination lock, and Chen Wanting had just walked in. Lin Yu trembled upon seeing Chen Wanting, instinctively standing up and hurriedly pulling out her phone to type. Boss, I'm helping Brother Shuo cook, I have to leave now. Just as she reached for her bag, Yang Genshuo stood up, gently patting her shoulder, gesturing for her to sit down. Lin Yu didn't dare sit, her head bowed, her hands tightly gripping the hem of her clothes, like a child punished under a pomegranate tree. Yang Genshuo said irritably, Chen Wanting, shouldn't that be asking you? Why did you come to my house? I told you, I was going to see you tonight, didn't you check WeChat? Chen Wanting asked matter-of-factly. I didn't reply, you didn't reply, so you're admitting it? Oh, I get it, you knew I was coming, so you deliberately sent her to annoy me, right? Chen Wanting suddenly realized. How come I never knew you had a talent for comedy? Huh? Chen Wanting? Please, don't go overboard. I know I was really rude the night before last, but I had my reasons. The graduation project is really hard, and I was already annoyed. I was just joking around with them and you bumped into me. I was so ashamed. They insisted I join Zhao Xianxi's project, just to show off their vanity. I don't actually know him at all, and I don't understand him at all. I cried for a long time that night. I finally realized that the only person I love is you. Whether you are poor, rich, or sick, I will only love you. She made herself sound pitiful, seemingly harmless, which could easily arouse people's protective instincts, but her eyes kept drifting towards the Bentley parked in the yard. Oh my gosh, your eyes will pop out if you keep looking. Are you wondering how Zhao Xianxi's Bentley ended up here? Just a little curious, because he owes me. Alright, if you have nothing better to do, leave. I'm in a good mood today and don't want to scold you. Chen Wanting didn't care about Yang Genshuo's mockery. Instead, she picked up her phone and typed to Lin Yu, you can leave now. I'm staying here tonight, so it's inconvenient for you to stay. Lin Yu, okay, boss lady, knowing I'm the boss lady, don't come here unless it's absolutely necessary, okay? Lin Yu bit her lower lip, tears welling in her eyes, and turned to leave. Yang Genshuo grabbed Lin Yu's hand, her small hand was icy cold. Ding-a-ling. Lin Yu shook the wind chime, her large,
tearful eyes looking at Yang Genshuo, her gaze filled with grievance and a desire to escape. "Let me go," Yang Genshuo read out 3 words. Yang Genshuo glanced at her phone, his face instantly turning cold. He used Lin Yu's phone to type to Chen Wanting, "You're not the boss's wife anymore. I can come whenever I want. You're interfering with my meal with Brother Shuo. Please leave." Lin Yu opened her misty eyes wide, like a heroine in an anime, and stared in astonishment as Yang Genshuo held her hand and typed those lines one by one. A warm current surged from the back of her hand to her whole body. Chen Wanting's face turned pale with anger. You too. Yang Genshuo, you're shameless. You want to play with a cripple? She can't even speak properly. All she can do is ba ba ba. You want to kick me out for someone like this? Chen Wanting pointed at Lin Yu, furious. Get out. Yang Genshuo's face turned cold as he listened to those words. Even as an old SP, he found them disgusting. Fine. Chen Wanting turned and left. Wait. Hearing Yang Genshuo chasing after her, a smug smile appeared on Chen Wanting's face. I knew it. Take off the trench coat I bought you. Chen Wanting covered her arm and walked away cursing. When the subway station doors closed, she hailed a taxi. The driver, for some reason, was in a bad mood and kept cursing the whole way after seeing the address. Let's watch a movie. Yang Genshuo opened the outdoor screen in the courtyard, put on a movie, and ate with Lin Yu. No words were spoken, but at that moment, it spoke volumes. Lin Yu felt hot all over tonight, her face flushed, and her heart racing. She didn't like Chen Wanting because she had long felt that Chen Wanting was a bad person. Every time they met, the boss would just buy things. Yang Genshuo, on the other hand, was focused on experiencing the wonderful sensations brought by the spiritual rice. This special fluctuation is spiritual energy. The spiritual energy flows through my body and is constantly transforming it. After finishing a bowl of rice, Yang Genshuo didn't know if it was just his imagination, but he felt his eyesight had improved slightly. He could see the screen more clearly. His nose could smell more fragrances, and his ears seemed a little more sensitive. The change was subtle, almost like a fantasy if not carefully perceived. But Yang Genshuo knew it was spiritual energy transforming his body. Liu Wuhan said that spiritual rice isn't just beneficial for cultivators, ordinary people who regularly eat it will also improve their constitution, become immune to all diseases, and increase their lifespan. It's like his body is redeveloping. How peculiar. This was different from the potent tonics used for body tempering. It was a gentler and more peculiar power. Yang Genshuo even felt that if he continued to eat spiritual rice, it might cure his mild 150-degree myopia. He suddenly looked at Lin Yu, his eyes gradually revealing joy. Lin Yu is congenitally deaf and mute. Is it possible for her to recover? At that moment, he made a decision. Lin Yu, come here to cook every day from now on, and I'll pay you. No, I'll just do it casually. Well, actually, I wanted to hire you as my nutritionist to plan my 3 meals a day and help me with my weight loss workouts. This is a complex and professional job, and it requires your full effort. The monthly salary will be the same as before, 4,000 yuan. Are you confident you can take this job? Yes. I'll officially start tomorrow. Yang Genshuo nodded. A different approach had worked. The next moment, Lin Yu looked at the several rooms behind her and typed, Boss, do you need me to stay in the staff dormitory? I heard that people who work out have very high requirements for food and need to control calories, etc. I can stay here tonight to meet your needs. Huh? Chapter 21 Talent Enhancement, both laughable and crying. Yang Genshuo naturally wouldn't let Lin Yu stay at his place. There were too many secrets there, making it unsuitable for anyone. After taking a Didi ride-hailing service to send Lin Yu away, Yang Genshuo returned to his study. Time in the game was still flowing at its normal pace, and Yang Shi was engrossed in studying the vernacular version of the art of war. He had been busy for most of the day, and he was worried about something going wrong in the game if he wasn't home. The Yang family's foundation is still too weak. One wrong move, and the whole family could be wiped out. We need to hurry up and leave some descendants for the Yang family. Let me make it clear first, I really like Yang Shi. Even if he can't cultivate, it's still not right for a family to have only one leader. Xiao Bai will be an adult in another year. Then, let's work hard. When he saw Zhang Xiaobai's aptitude, he had already finalized this marriage, letting them cultivate their relationship for 4 years first, after which things would fall into place naturally. Last year, Yang Shi learned a lot from Liu Wuhan. Liu Wuhan knew far more than manager Liao. He was extremely knowledgeable about cultivation and had done in-depth research. Manager Liao had once told Yang Shi that Liu Wuhan was no ordinary innate grandmaster. Yang Genshuo deeply agreed, believing that Liu Wuhan must have had a connection to immortality. One piece of common knowledge about the cultivation world that Liu Wuhan mentioned confirmed Yang Genshuo's previous conjecture: it was almost impossible for mortals to have children with spiritual roots. For a child to have a spiritual root, at least one parent must possess one. Therefore, everything was proceeding as Yang Genshuo had planned. Acceleration began. The cultivation world saw sunrise and sunset, initiating the fourth year of evolution, 3 years and 50 days. Yang Shi's bones resonated, achieving mastery of bone refinement. With the aid of the mind cultivation technique, he successfully broke through to the 6th level of body tempering, internal force infusion. Yang family martial virtue increased, incense value plus 60, gained a new blessing, tranquility, quickly calms the mind, slightly increases comprehension, 2 incense values per day. Due to the characteristics of the mind clarity technique, Yang Shi's talent has undergone a slight change. 50 days into the game, something new happened. A new blessing, increasing mental state and comprehension, 2 incense points a day, not bad. After body tempering, the 5th level is key cultivation, which will be useful during cultivation. This can also be used on Xiaobei. For cultivators, comprehension is more important, right? Blessing used on Yang Shi, tranquility. Blessing used on Zhang Xiaobei, tranquility. A ray of golden light entered the heads of the two in the manner, instantly clearing their minds, as if they had seen through many things. Yang Shi, experienced, directly said, "It's a blessing from my Yang family ancestors." Xiaobei quickly thanked the ancestor. Xiaobei thanks the ancestor. Yang Shi, however, seemed thoughtful. Does the ancestor's blessing stone mean he acknowledges Xiaobei? He glanced again at Zhang Xiaobei, who was developing rapidly and had become a young woman, his expression slightly unnatural. He turned his head and sat cross-legged to cultivate the mind clarity technique, with a blessing of tranquility. Previously obscure and difficult points, like constipation, were directly swept away by a surge of inspiration. Inspiration flowed like a torrent. He achieved enlightenment on the spot, and his proficiency in the mind clarity technique rapidly increased. Seeing this state, Yang Genshuo cast another blessing, vitality, spell, stimulating his brain with increased metabolism to become even more energetic. At this moment, Yang Shi's character card had undergone a significant change compared to 2 years ago. Name, Yang Shi. Identity, sole heir of the Yang family, owner of Yang's board game tea house, owner of Yang's manor. Lifespan, 21/71. Realm, body tempering realm, level 6, spiritual root, none, comprehension. 30, luck. 10, talent, amused person, mortal, crying and laughing plus, mortal, skills, basic fist technique, masterful, drug beating stick technique, masterful, lightning 100 whip, approaching perfection, traceless sword technique, sketch, mind clarity technique, beginner, status, spiritual energy valve, tranquil mind, vitality, joy. My lifespan has increased by 1 year. Is this the effect of eating spiritual rice for half a year? Not bad. Keep eating and try to live to 100. Tranquil mind can increase comprehension by 10 points. Really good, from 20 points to 30. That's a 50% increase. Yang Shi already had a higher comprehension than ordinary people, and now it will be even more prominent. Among them, the change in the talent column surprised Yang Genshuo. Laughing and crying. Why is there a plus? Laughing and crying plus, mortal, work efficiency fluctuates greatly depending on mood. Joyful mood plus 25%, depressed mood minus 25%, affected by the Mingxinju. This talent actually upgraded. Before, it fluctuated by 20%, now it's 25%. If I can maintain a good mindset, it's equivalent to an extra 5% training efficiency, and it's permanent. Not bad. I remember Liao Xiao saying that mastering superior mental techniques can grant special abilities. For example, mastering the Bakiju makes muscles as hard as iron and grants immense strength. Liu Wuhan's Mingxinju enhances existing talents. Each has its own merits. Yang Shi's path wasn't the swift and forceful style, so he initially chose Liu Wuhan's Mingxinju, while giving the stubborn and reckless Hu Zi the Bakiju. Time continued to flow. With a fourfold buff of spiritual energy valve body, plus vitality plus tranquility, plus laughing and crying plus, Yang Shi's training speed was extremely fast. Even Liu Wuhan praised him for having the bearing of a grandmaster. Yang Genshuo's only comment was, "Paid to change your fate." 3 years and 66 days later, Liu Wuhan brought his daughter Liu Zuhan to the Yang family manor, suggesting that Yang Shi, being roughly the same age as his daughter, should get closer. Liu Zuhan, now 20, is beautiful and well-mannered after recovering her health. Her eyes always look at Yang Shi with tenderness. Zhang Xiaobei sent the spirit beast Xiaoho to frighten Liu Zuhan into tears. 3 years and 76 days later, someone from this Hengpin Pavilion headquarters came to inquire if Liao Xiao had encountered the Jie family's swordsmen. Liao Xiao said he hadn't seen them. The person who made the bigu cakes had also moved away from Qingxi County after being persuaded, and their whereabouts were unknown. The headquarters person warned Liao Xiao not to get involved with the Jie family's karma, lest he suffer a fatal disaster. Brother Yang. It seems the Jie family still suspects us. If the immortals come to question us, what should we do? Don't panic. Just insist you've never seen the swordsman. My master said that even key refining stage cultivators aren't omniscient. Don't be alarmed. Without evidence, the Jie family cultivators won't lay a hand on a branch manager of a rare item pavilion like you, especially since you're just immortal. Cultivators slaughtering mortals is taboo in any country. Especially for well-known cultivation families, they must be mindful of their reputation. You must understand, not all of your Jie family's descendants are cultivators, most are mortals. If you do this today, other cultivators can also slaughter your Jie family's mortal descendants at will in the future. This is the rule of the cultivation world that Liu Wuhan told Yang Shi. However, there is one exception to this rule, the innate grandmaster. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22: The Marketplace of the Loose Cultivators. After reaching the innate grandmaster level in martial arts, one possesses immense strength, even capable of harming key refining stage immortals. Therefore, it's quite normal for cultivators to attack innate grandmasters. In daily conversations, Yang Shi noticed that his master, Liu Wuhan, showed no fear of immortals. 3 years and 109 days later, Zhang Xiaobei experienced a breakthrough after casting the Spirit Rain spell in the Tiger and Leopard Forest. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth gathered in his danshan, allowing him to break through to the second level of the fetal breathing stage. Hint: Zhang Xiaobei seems slightly awkward in cultivating the mysterious stone key induction technique. What's wrong? Yang Genshuo clicked on the hint, and the technique information popped up on the screen. Mysterious stone key induction technique, a basic earth and metal dual element key cultivation technique, suitable for cultivators with prominent earth and metal spiritual roots. Oh, I see. Yang Genshuo roughly understood why Zhang Xiaobei felt awkward. Zhang Xiaobei's spiritual root is one of the 5 elements: metal, 17, wood, 23, water, 20, fire, 20, earth, 20. Her wood elemental root aptitude is the highest, and she also possesses the noble earth level talent, wood affinity. However, she cultivates a metal-based key cultivation technique, which naturally makes her feel awkward. Earth generates metal, metal controls wood, her wood elemental root talent is suppressed, hence her slow cultivation speed. Yang Genshuo deduced simply from the 5 elements perspective, concluding that this was likely the case. It would be best to find Xiaobei a key cultivation technique with a wood element. However, where did this mysterious stone key induction technique come from? Does she know any other key cultivation techniques? Yang Genshuo hadn't asked before, but now that it concerned Xiaobei's cultivation, he needed to explain. Manifestation. A line of text appeared out of thin air before Yang Shi's eyes. Xiaobei's cultivation method is flawed, resulting in wasted effort. Go and ask Xiaobei if she knows any other techniques. Yes, ancestor. Yang Shi bowed to the sky and went to the Tiger and Leopard Forest to find Xiaobei. Zhang Xiaobei, who had just broken through to the next level, was overjoyed and playing with Xiaoho outside the spirit fields. Xiaoho was growing extremely fast. At only 2 years old, it was already as big as an adult tiger, and its claws could even emit fire. It was the king of the Tiger and Leopard Forest. Whenever it came, no beast in the entire forest dared to approach Xiaobei. It had reached the second level of the fetal breathing stage, even faster than Xiaobei, and was currently rolling around under a rockberry tree, its body pressed against the scorching bark, feeling its owner stroking its fur, its eyes half closed in bliss. Xiaobei looked at the 3 spirit fields that were growing exceptionally well, a look of pride on her face. Once I reach the second level of the fetal breathing stage, I can use the mysterious stone abundance oil technique, and the yield of the spirit fields will definitely be higher than last year. She cast the spell according to her memory, and wisps of earthy yellow spiritual energy spread from her to the ground, causing the surrounding soil to tremble slightly. Drawing in strands of earth essence from the earth to nourish the roots of the spirit rice and spirit wheat. As she continued casting spells, Zhang Xiaobei gradually broke out in a sweat. Finally, after completing the entire spell, she collapsed onto the little fire tiger, utterly exhausted. Huff, so difficult. Can I only barely use the second level of the fetal breathing stage once? She looked at the 3 acres of spiritual fields, feeling utterly overwhelmed. She knew she had to regularly cast the spiritual rain technique on these fields. This time, the overexertion would require a whole day of cultivation to return to her peak condition. With her current spiritual power, she simply couldn't manage these 3 acres of spiritual fields and the 1 acre at home. I can only use the mysterious stone abundance oil technique on 1 acre of spiritual fields at most. This spell is so awkward and tiring, but for my brother, it's all worth it. Keep trying. Cultivate to the 3rd level of the fetal breathing stage, then I should be able to manage 4 acres of spiritual fields. Thinking of Yang Shi, the fatigue on Zhang Xiaobei's face vanished, and even the farming she used to hate became enjoyable. She didn't know what to do with so much spiritual rice and wheat. The 2 of them couldn't possibly finish it all. But she only knew that if she took good care of these spiritual fields, her brother would be very happy. Xiaobei, brother, over here. Yang Shi arrived and asked directly, where did you learn your key cultivation technique? The ancestor said your key cultivation technique doesn't match your aptitude. Do you know any other key cultivation techniques? Zhang Xiaobei seemed to have anticipated this day and slowly began to recount his background. I was once selected as an outer disciple by the Yang Shi sect, taught the Yang Shi key induction technique and 3 spells. Later, I escaped and wandered here disguised as a beggar. I was so hungry I could barely walk. Seeing the righteous spirit and kind heart in your eyes, I begged to be taken in. Oh? The Yang Shi sect, the #1 immortal sect of the Danai dynasty. Yes, Liu Wuhan had mentioned the Yang Shi sect to Yang Shi, only saying, the Yang Shi sect is a true immortal sect. Their words are law, and no one dares to disobey. All the martial arts grandmasters of the Danai dynasty combined couldn't kill them with a single spell. Their strength was terrifying. Yang Genshuo was also stunned. Where was the Yang Shi sect? Because there was so little discussion, sometimes the rush led to overlooking things. Yang Shi asked in confusion, being a disciple of a cultivation sect is something so many people dream of. Why did you run away? Zhang Xiaobei glanced at Yang Shi, then lowered her head and said, I don't want to cultivate immortality. Huh? Yang Genshuo and Yang Shi were in perfect sync again. What's the difference between this and getting a free admission to Tsinghua University and then saying you don't like going to university? It's a class leap. Yang Shi, then why are you doing this now? Because I don't want to see my brother being threatened while I can only stand there blankly at the door. Yang Shi felt a warm current flow through his heart, remembering how Zhang Xiaobei had clung to him after returning from killing Zhao Kuangfeng, crying incessantly. Oh dear, if I don't cultivate immortality, what will happen to all our family's many spiritual fields? I can't bear to let them go to waste. Zhang Xiaobei put her hands on her hips, a little smug. So you only know this one key cultivation technique? Yes, all the outer disciples of the Yang Shi sect learn this. Yang Genshuo got the answer, but he also frowned. Changing Zhang Xiaobei's key refining technique would be troublesome. Liao Xiao doesn't have that ability. For now, we can only let Xiaobei continue using it. As a result, Xiaobei's cultivation speed is quite average, completely unable to utilize his noble earth-level talent advantage. Having received the answer, Yang Genshuo continued to make time flow rapidly. 3 years, 178 days, Yang family's spiritual rice and wheat matured and began to be harvested and dried. With Zhang Xiaobei's meticulous care, the harvest improved slightly. 3 years, 190 days, the rockberry tree bore fruit again, but it's unknown when it will ripen. Yang Shi still doesn't know how to use the 3 rockberry fruits he saved last year. Liu Wuhan advised that mortals should not easily consume these fire attribute spiritual fruits, otherwise their lives would be in danger. 3 years, 250 days. Rumors circulate in the martial arts world that a market for rogue cultivators will be held in a month near the eastern Whitewater River in Shi County. It is said that a large amount of cultivation supplies will be traded there, and the number of customers in Shi County has increased significantly. Yang's board game tea house is packed with people every day. After 3 years and 268 days, several extraordinary cultivators arrived at Yang's tea house. Yang Genshuo restored the flow of time to normal and began to observe carefully. Chapter 23. Too many big shots, let's play it safe. Why is this year's market for rogue cultivators being held at Baishu River? Don't even mention it. The previous location was at the border of our Yulong County and the neighboring Baocean County. The location was good, but it's now occupied by demonic cultivators. A slight misstep could lead to certain death. Who would dare go there? Changing the location is understandable. I just wonder if all of you fellow cultivators have received the news. What if someone still acts as they always have? Life and death are preordained. Isn't this just another tribulation on the path of cultivation? Demonic cultivators are entrenched, harming the mortal realm. Why isn't the Yang Shi sect, the immortal sect of our great Nai dynasty, taking action? Rumor has it that those demonic cultivator leaders are Foundation establishment level experts. Even the Yang Shi sect must be cautious. Let's wait and see. We rogue cultivators arrived early. There's still a month before the market opens. We can rest and enjoy the prosperity of this mortal world. Ha, waiter, bring tea, bring the best tea. All right, please come in, gentlemen. The waiters at Yang's board game tea house were quick-witted. Judging from the four men's demeanor and attire, they were clearly not ordinary people. They immediately led them upstairs and served them delicious food and drinks. Listening to their undisguised conversation, Yang Shi naturally understood that these four were cultivators, unaffiliated, independent cultivators. It seems the recent rumors are true. Cultivators have been arriving one after another. I wonder what their strength is. I hope they don't cause trouble in my tea house. I'm at a loss. He, a 6th level body tempering martial artist, was now quite flustered. At this moment, a line of large golden characters appeared on the roof. The four of you are all nascent soul realm cultivators. Their strength is, the golden characters spread out, dividing into 4 lines of smaller characters, which landed above the heads of the 4 independent cultivators. Nascent soul realm 10th level, nascent soul realm 9th level, nascent soul realm 8th level, nascent soul realm 8th level. Each person had a clear description of their strength above their head. They're all experts, but thankfully they haven't reached the key refining stage yet. They're no match for my master. Liu Wuhan had boasted during their last ranking session that he was invincible below the key refining stage. Tiger, go and invite my master. Tell him the tea house needs his help to keep things in order. It's a mixed bag right now. Caution is advised. Yang Shi's caution seemed somewhat effective to Yang Genshuo, but not significantly. Besides the rogue cultivators, there were 3 grandmasters of the innate realm and about 10 half-step innate realm experts sitting in the tea house, along with an old beggar squatting at the entrance, a key refining stage 7 cultivator. Goodness, if this continues, immortals will be everywhere, and grandmasters will be as common as dogs. This is too dangerous. As the tea house owner, Yang Genshuo felt utterly helpless. He couldn't afford to offend even half of the people present. If he angered some powerful figure with strange quirks, he'd be instantly killed. Yang Genshuo even considered having Yang Shi go home and avoid the tea house, hiring some people to manage it. But Yang Shi clearly didn't think so. He excitedly told Zhang Xiaobei, if we really want to open a market for independent cultivators in Baishu River, we can sell some of the spirit rice and wheat we harvested this year to get spirit stones and buy you a suitable key cultivation technique. Zhang Xiaobei quickly waved her hand. No, the mysterious stone key induction technique is enough. Brother, you can save the extra spirit stones as part of your savings. That's not quite right, Yang Shi said seriously. We should exchange any extra spirit stones for something useful to us in time. Otherwise, what good is it to accumulate wealth for decades and have a house full of spirit stones? They'll just be stolen by powerful people and become their food supply, Zhang Xiaobei quickly said. Then brother can exchange them for some pills, magic tools, and other supplies. Well, we don't know the prices in this market yet. We'll listen and observe more these days, and then make a decision. Yang Shi planned to seize this opportunity to expand his strength. Yang Genshuo quickly calculated the resources the Yang family could currently utilize, the 4 mu of spirit fields harvested this year and the 3 rock berries picked last year. They need the yield from 1.5 mu, so only 2.5 mu can be sold. Based on last year's yield of 430 jin per mu, that's roughly 1,000 jin, which, according to the prices at the Treasure Pavilion, can be exchanged for over 15 low-grade spirit stones. Perhaps we can buy some good things, but even a common man is innocent, yet possessing a treasure is a crime. Even if you buy it, can you really take it back to the Yang family from the market? Yang Genshuo shook his head, directly stopping Yang Shi's idea. Spiritual manifestation, the market is dangerous. Yuan Xiaobei's cultivation levels are too low, it's not advisable to participate. Just observe quietly in Qingxi County, and listen to the rumors of the cultivation world to broaden your horizons. Let me hear too. Yang Genshuo was completely clueless about this cultivation world. He needed to gather more information to see if it differed from the cultivation world in novels. Yang Shi was stunned by his ancestor's words, then suddenly realized something. Shi, I understand, he had a head full of ideas, but he forgot the most basic issue, safety. If even Zhao Kuangfeng, a half-step Xianshan cultivator, could drive him to the brink of death, what about these more powerful cultivators and Xianshan grandmasters? Of the 4 people sitting on the second floor, if even one of them had designs on him, he and Xiaobei would be powerless to resist and would simply perish. According to Liu Wuhan, even cultivators in the nascent soul stage don't all possess their own spiritual fields. Everyone wants such a good thing that produces food every year. Cultivation is essentially a game of competing for resources. Yang Shi could greatly accelerate his body tempering speed by eating spiritual rice and tonics, and the same is true for cultivators. After thinking everything through, Yang Shi and Yang Genshuo's brainwaves returned to sync. Go for it. The golden characters in the sky reappeared. Recently, I've been buying food and giving it to the beggars in Qingxi County every day, especially the old beggar leaning against the door. I'll try my best to fulfill any request he has. Yang Genshuo didn't say what the old beggar's cultivation level was, but Yang Shi could tell. He must be a hermit. He personally brewed a cup of Nescafe instant coffee and brought it to the old beggar. Old man, have a cup of hot coffee to warm yourself up. The old beggar's hair was disheveled, he wore tattered hemp clothes, and carried a green bamboo dog beating stick. Yang Shi felt a sense of familiarity with him, just like the old beggar who taught him to read years ago. Even without Yang Genshuo's reminder, he would never have let this old man go hungry at his doorstep. The old beggar raised his head, brushed aside his long hair, revealing a weathered face, and grinned, revealing 2 rows of large, yellow teeth. Hey, you've got a bit of a kind heart, kid, but this old beggar doesn't like tea, it's too weak. Go find me some wine, old man. I'll go buy you some wine right now, but this is coffee, a bit strong. It leaves a lingering fragrance on your lips and teeth. You can try it first, it smells like wine. Hurry up, hurry up. Yang Shi had no choice but to go to the restaurant and buy a jar of daughter's red wine. When he returned, he saw the old beggar sitting at the door, his face flushed, his coffee completely empty. Good, good, good. I've never tasted such bitter tea before, it's really flavorful. Another cup, what are you waiting for? Give me a cup of coffee. The old beggar was addicted to coffee, sipping cup after cup at the door, laughing heartily when he felt satisfied, completely oblivious to the reactions of others. Yang Shi arranged for a waiter to make coffee for the old beggar, intending to go upstairs to sit and listen to the conversation of the 4 rogue cultivators. However, the previously noisy first-floor lobby suddenly fell silent. 5 cultivators dressed in Taoist robes arrived, their auras extraordinary, their bearing ethereal, instantly distinguishing them from the rogue cultivators. The leader was exceptionally beautiful, any adjective to describe her beauty paled in comparison. She seemed like a fairy descended to earth. Her cold gaze swept over them, her powerful aura causing everyone present to feel inferior. Disciples of the Zhuangxi sect, Liu Wuhan said to Yang Shi, frowning, a hint of resentment flashing in his eyes. Chapter 24. After a satisfying meal, thoughts turn to food and drink? Yang's board game tea house? Senior sister, I recognize every single character, but why do I not understand the meaning when they're put together? A tea house is naturally a place for drinking tea. Let's rest here for a while. Why are all these people looking at us? Who are they? Some poor cultivators and mortals, with such low strength? Why don't they cultivate properly instead of drinking tea and having fun here? In the nascent soul stage, isn't it just about absorbing more spirit stones to improve one's cultivation level? I said. They are poor cultivators. The stunningly beautiful woman at the head patiently answered the questions from her junior brothers and sisters behind her. Her voice wasn't loud, but it was extremely insulting. However, no one dared to utter a word. Even the old beggar at the door, who had been clamoring about drinking coffee, moved aside, afraid of blocking their way. Disciples of the Yang sect? Isn't this the loose cultivator market? Why are they here? Liu Wuhan shook his head. I don't know. But this is a good thing. The Yang sect claims to be a prestigious and righteous sect. With them here, your tea house will be safe. Yang Shi had heard many rumors these past 2 days. This loose cultivator market was the lowest level of trading in the cultivation world. Even the immortal clans who cultivated in various places were unwilling to come, let alone a behemoth like the Yang sect. The magical artifacts in this loose cultivator market might not even be as good as a broom used for sweeping. Their appearance clearly startled everyone. Yang Shi glanced at the large golden characters that appeared above the opposite side, and his pupils dilated in shock. Key refining level 5, key refining level 6, foundation establishment level 5, key refining level 3, key refining level 9. Foundation establishment grandmaster. A realm he had only heard of in legends had actually come to Yang's board game tea house. Yang Genshuo was stunned after looking at the 5 character cards. What kind of big shots are these? Not only were their cultivation levels high, but their talents were also extremely strong, guaranteed to be at least at the earth level talent level. The woman in the middle, who had reached the foundation establishment stage, was the most terrifying. At only 25 years old, she was already a foundation establishment master. She possessed an immortal level talent. Mortal, earth, and celestial immortal, the top level of all 4 levels. Even Yang Genshuo, watching from outside the screen, couldn't help but gasp, exclaiming, terrifying. The 5 were indeed disciples of the Yang sect. Although shocked by the power of the Yang sect disciples, Yang Shi didn't forget to entertain them as they entered the shop. Esteemed immortals, please ascend to the private rooms on the 3rd floor. Thank you for your trouble. The senior sister spoke politely, but her cold expression made people hesitant to approach. As the 5 sat down in the private room on the 3rd floor, out of sight of others, the tea house gradually returned to normal. The old beggar at the door finally let out a long breath. Phew. That scared the old man to death. I thought I was just pretending to be weak, but I didn't expect Murong Ziyin from the Yang sect to be here too. Why is this prodigy not staying on the mountain cultivating immortality? What's she doing in this wretched place? The old beggar looked completely bewildered. After that, the entire tea house's conversation turned to the Yang sect, with everyone sharing the gossip they knew. I've heard that the Yang sect recruits disciples from various immortal clans of the Danai dynasty every 3 years. Once you enter, your path to immortality is glorious, with a minimum achievement being key refining. Now I see it's true. Here you're talking about formal disciples. The Yang sect requires at least 4 spiritual roots for formal disciples. Their talent is already much stronger than ours with 5 spiritual roots. It would be strange if they couldn't achieve key refining. But I have a friend whose son has 5 spiritual roots and also entered the Yang sect to cultivate. 5 spiritual roots only qualify one as an outer disciple of the Yang sect. Only those with outstanding contributions or high cultivation levels have the opportunity to become formal disciples. There are several times more outer disciples than formal disciples. Only one person can become a formal disciple each year. How difficult is that? That's still much better than us rogue cultivators, Alice. We rogue cultivators have already exhausted all our strength just to live. We're not even sure if we can break through to the key refining stage in this lifetime. The 4 rogue cultivators on the 2nd floor chanted with considerable sadness. After the 5 Yang sect members sat down on the 3rd floor, the 4 junior brothers and sisters looked on with curiosity. Senior sister, can we eat some of this mortal food? Senior sister, could I use my disguise technique to eavesdrop on what they're talking about? Senior sister, could I use my bathing technique to wash everyone in this tea house? I don't like the smell of sweat. Senior sister, I see some interesting games down there. Can we go play them? The 4 disciples had completely lost their immortal sect demeanor, and now they were like curious children, pestering their senior sister with questions. The eldest sister patiently replied, this time, we're taking you down the mountain for training. You mustn't use magic on others indiscriminately to maintain the righteous image of our Yang sect. Otherwise,
You can do whatever you want, yay. I'll disguise everyone, let's go play. While wearing disguise masks, we'll also be removing the masks of Yang Shi sect disciples. Can I pretend to be a rogue cultivator and give them all a bath? Hey. Eldest sister, don't hit me, I won't bathe. I'm holding my breath, I'm going to the street to buy some food. I don't know if these few hundred low-grade spirit stones I brought will be enough to get back. I hope the food here isn't too expensive. The eldest sister's usually aloof face changed slightly at the words of her junior brothers and sisters. But she didn't say anything more to them. Since it was a training trip, they should experience it for themselves. The four disguised individuals blended seamlessly into the rogue cultivators of Qingxi County. Seeing that her junior brothers and sisters had all left, the aloof eldest sister raised an eyebrow, touched her storage ring, and a piece of Gui Ling cake appeared in her hand. Sticking out her little tongue, she gently licked her mouth, the sweet fragrance filling her mouth, causing Murin Zion's lips and eyebrows to curve into a smile. Seeing things stabilize, Yang Genshuo sped up the game. Let's send these big shots away quickly. Foundation establishment stage, it's terrifying. He couldn't wait to reach 30 days later and return to that safe development environment. However, events took an increasingly bizarre turn. With these rogue cultivators and innate grandmasters arriving ahead of schedule, Qingxi County's economy boomed like never before. With 5 people from the Xuanxi sect sitting there, not a single one dared to buy anything for free, everyone obediently paid. Most people knew to exchange some silver at the treasure pavilion, while a few wealthy individuals insisted on paying with spirit stones for a whole table of food, scaring the owner so much that he dared not accept. As everyone finished eating and drinking, they began to think about how to pass the month-long wait. After a satisfying meal, entertainment became the focus. Thus, the concept of board games suddenly became popular among the rogue cultivators. They played a few rounds, and it was really fun. 3 days later, at Yang's board game tea house, all the mortals of Qingxi County were driven out by the rogue cultivators, who began to dominate the city's best entertainment venue. Then, a group of cultivators began playing intense games of Three Kingdoms Kill and Werewolf. Because the cultivators had so much energy, Yang's board game tea house was required to stay open all night. Even so, it was still packed, with everyone queuing to play. 12 decks of Three Kingdoms Kill cards and 1 deck of Werewolf cards were played non-stop. The cultivators argued heatedly over a useful general card, and cheered wildly for a lucky draw, rewarding Yang Shi with 2 low-grade spirit stones on the spot. These past few days, Yang Shi hadn't left the vortex of the rogue cultivator market. Instead, he was sinking deeper and deeper, becoming an indispensable member. Without Boss Yang's cards, this cultivator's market is a waste. Such fun cards, who on earth invented them? Could Boss Yang sell me a deck of cards? I'd offer 5 low-grade spirit stones. I haven't interacted with everyone much lately. The later plot is really good, I'm enjoying writing it, so I hope you can vote with your monthly tickets and recommendation votes. Feel free to leave any creative suggestions in the book review section, I'll use the good ones. Chapter 25 Low-Grade Magical Artifact, Moonlight Mirror. PFFT. 5 spirit stones for a deck of Three Kingdoms Kill? You better be serious. Yang Genshuo immediately contacted Yoka's card production line, determined to sell it to them. However, scarcity was clearly a factor in the current market, and Yang Shi smiled, not intending to respond to this rogue cultivator. Even 12 decks weren't enough to play with. Some decks with limited generals were already quite popular, let alone the one with the most generals. Actually, with the skills of these rogue cultivators, counterfeiting a deck of Three Kingdoms Kill cards wouldn't be difficult. One of them, a cultivator specializing in metal-based magic, was skilled in carving. He cut some wood and carved the card designs onto it, making it playable. But the experience was terrible. The wooden cards were too thick and uneven, making shuffling difficult, and the lifelike character illustrations couldn't be reproduced. Furthermore, the most crucial element of the board game, the card spinning, was impossible. Everyone preferred to queue for the official version rather than play his. Seeing someone wanting to buy cards, many others chimed in. I'll offer 6 spirit stones, I'll offer 7, 10. Fellow cultivators, don't compete with me. When the market opens in a few days, all of Situnan's goods will be sold at 80% of the market price. I'll offer a low-grade magic artifact in exchange. The Moon Mirror. I found this mirror in the southern spirit lake. At night, it can automatically absorb moonlight spiritual energy, and once it's full,
It releases an attack equivalent to a full force strike from the 10th level of the fetal breathing realm. Instantly, the rogue cultivators gasped. Magic artifacts are precious items. They can greatly increase a cultivator's strength, and no cultivator would complain about having too many magic artifacts. They would only want one more. A magic artifact that can unleash the power of the 10th level of the fetal breathing realm? Why is it only low grade? Is there some flaw? I suspect there's something fishy about the storage time, isn't there? A mature and prudent rogue cultivator said. The person who wanted to exchange the magic artifact blushed slightly. It can be used once every 6 months, which isn't too long. Get lost. At most 10 low-grade spirit stones. I don't want a single one more. I wouldn't even take it for free. An attack that only lasts 6 months. I'd rather buy 2 talismans. You think you can exchange this for a 3 kingdoms kill card? Eat shit. However, for low-level cultivators, it could be considered a life-saving measure. The old rogue cultivator waved his fan, glancing at Yang Xiaobei with a meaningful look. Some of the low-level rogue cultivators present, especially those below the 5th level of the nascent soul stage, were slightly tempted. A protective talisman that triggers only once every 6 months is better than nothing. Everyone looked at Yang Shi, wanting to see what this always kind and polite tea house owner was thinking. Yang Shi didn't hesitate at all and bowed to everyone. Yang Shi thanks all the seniors for their kindness, but there's still more than half a month before the market opens. Everyone's gathered at my Yang's board game tea house for fun. As the owner, how can I just sell everyone's happiness? Please, seniors, don't mention selling cards again. Yang Shi's sincere words earned nods of approval from the many independent cultivators. Muran Ziyan, who had been on the 3rd floor, also nodded slightly. Knowing the big picture, understanding when to advance and retreat, this mortal is quite clear-headed. At this moment, the waiter brought over a cup of milk tea. Sir, your immortal floating milk tea is ready. Muran Ziyan's face was aloof. Her ethereal, otherworldly aura, combined with her stunning beauty, was a rare sight in the mortal world. The waiter felt that even a glance would shorten his lifespan, so he quickly left after putting it down. After she left, she glanced down. Her 4 foolish junior brothers and sisters had perfectly integrated into the independent cultivators, having a great time. She opened her hand, and the milk teacup was sucked towards her. Her red lips parted slightly. She took a sip, and instantly, her face blossomed into a satisfied smile, like snow melting on a mountain and plum blossoms blooming. This was why she came here to sit every day. Yang Shi had always reserved this room for her. The little incident had passed, and everyone continued playing cards and having fun, while Yang Shi and Yang Genshuo were already secretly exchanging ideas behind the tea house. We must get that moon mirror, that's what she thinks too. The two reached an agreement immediately. Perhaps for these rogue cultivators, an attack once every 6 months wasn't cost-effective, its use was too limited, and the price wouldn't be very high. But that old rogue cultivator was right. For low-level cultivators, it was a good trump card. Zhang Xiaobei was only at the 2nd level of the fetal breathing stage, and didn't even know any attack spells. If they really fought, it wouldn't be as powerful as Hu Zi using a set of Raging Wind Blade technique. This moon mirror was just right for the Yang family now. A full-force attack from a 10th level fetal breathing stage would either kill or seriously injure anyone below the innate Grandmaster level. With this mirror, if someone like Zhao Kuangfang came, they would have another option to defeat them in one strike. Think of a way. Let's get the mirror here at the tea house these next few days, before we wait for the rogue cultivators to come to the market. With a Yuanxi sex expert stationed here, it's a safe zone. Yang Shi nodded. Ancestor, I will do my best. Privately, Yang Shi secretly contacted the rogue cultivator who wanted to sell the mirror, asking how many spirit stones he was willing to pay. The rogue cultivator immediately insisted on 12 spirit stones, stating that he would sell it for the same price at the market. This price was acceptable to both Yang Shi and Yang Genshuo. Next, the question was how to obtain the spirit stones. Perhaps we could sell some spirit rice while there are rogue cultivators here. No, that would be like telling everyone I'm farming spirit rice, that my strength is low, and that the Yuanxi sect people will come and rob me. While Yang Genshuo was still pondering, Yang Shi's lips curled into a smile. He already had an idea. Ancestor, watch me make my move. The next day, when the tea house was packed, Yang Shi took over the role of the storyteller. Esteemed seniors, you've all been playing this 3 Kingdoms kill card game for a week now. You must be familiar with the generals. Their skills are diverse,
and their mechanics are ingenious, but besides these ordinary general cards, there are some cards that have never appeared before. These words instantly attracted the attention of most of the independent cultivators, and the corners of their mouths involuntarily turned up. Then why hide new cards? Wouldn't it be better to share them with everyone? Hearing others ask this, Yang Shi shook his head. The senior who forged this card once designed 12 unique cards. There's only one set, it's incredibly precious, and I've always kept it at home. Everyone instantly understood, a rare and valuable card. Exactly, this card is called Divine General. Hiss, the independent cultivators gasped, stunned by the grand name. Boss Yang, could you please show it to us? Yang Shi took out a golden card from his sleeve, its design exaggerated. This card is called God Lu Bu. It possesses 5 skills: Berserk, Reckless, Unstoppable, Divine Wrath, and Peerless. Using this general card will make you invincible in the game. After Yang Shi demonstrated it to everyone, the veteran players of Three Kingdoms Kill couldn't help but exclaim in amazement. With this card, I can fight 2 people single-handedly without falling behind. I'll immediately switch sides. Who can stop me? Boss Yang, could I borrow this card for a game? I'll offer 1 spirit stone. I want it. Hearing someone make a bid, Yang Shi's lips twitched slightly. It's a sure thing. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.